Anzia Racing would like to thank the following.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Crux Cup 2955 Stellar Endurance Championships. This is qualifier for GP number 2. This is the US and Aussie versions that we are experiencing for the next 2 hours. I am so lucky to be joined by my friends once again. We have Echo Bit representing Anzia Racing, and of course, the one and only Red Monster SC representing Red Legion. How are both of you doing tonight, Echo?
Anzia Racing presiding officer, VTuber, professional racer extraordinaire at your service, doing wonderful. It's 1 week till CitizenCon. We've got an amazing race to put on this Grand Prix number 2. I'm so excited. Let's go racing!
Let's go racing. Red, how you doing tonight?
Oh man, I am doing fantastic. I'm Red Monster SC. I'm mostly an industrial player, but I do love getting into the racing here, and huge supporter of Anzia Racing and EchoBit, everything that's been done there, and hot on the heels of all of my coordination and organization for my local CitizenCon watch party, which happens to be one of the official CIG ones, where we're deep in the preparation for that, so it's been a whirlwind of work to get that done. But excited to see how fast these racers can go today.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be our first look at the new Babbage Ghost track, and we're going to be talking about that in a minute. For those of you who have never experienced the Crux Cup series, specifically the Stellar Endurance Championships, this is a race built for individual racers. We're talking about a group of people who are trying to score points. In today's race, it's going to be for those who get the most laps in, but we'll get to that in a minute. They are trying to get to the top 15, which we are going to be calling the Godly 15. Like I said, tonight we're going to be talking about the new Babbage Ghost track, which was, I believe, designed by our one and only Echo Bit. Echo, is that correct?
That is correct. Beautifully designed out of Microtech. It has incredible skyscrapers and train tracks that we looped around. I built this with the Anzia prototype race team. Together, we worked with the top racers in the game to design an incredibly technical circuit. So I just want to quickly shout out Sanguisvena and Black Star Racing and XGR for all of their input in this track. Thank you so much.
Absolutely true. And as I said, this is a 2-hour endurance race, everybody. So we've got some really amazing racing ahead of us that we're going to be watching out for. There's a chance whoever takes the top position, when we are all said and done here, whoever's got top position will be crowned at the end of the Stellar Crux Cup. Crux Cup Stellar. It's so many syllables. I'm done. They are going to be crowned the Ghost of New Babbage, leading the Godly 15, and that's going to be what's going on here. Red, would you mind walking us through the track a little bit? Tell us more about the backstory.
Yeah, so the new Babbage Ghost track has it's got a narrative behind it. A young ship racer arrived at Microtech in search of their missing father and became involved in the Crux Cup Stellar Endurance Championships. This pilot flew at maximum speed through a snowstorm with only 5 meters of visibility, claiming the first competition victory of the track, earning themselves the nickname the Ghost of New Babbage, and having the track subsequently named after them. So this is a technical track with 258.6 kilometers. It's a tour of the entire New Babbage city, starting at the train line connecting the Ghost Repair Shop building and hitting a few key historic locations where delivery pilots have saved lives and New Babbage's underground racing scene had appearances. So the players who make it into the top 15 here, we said they're going to earn the title of the Godly 15. They'll earn themselves the club name as a title recognized in the Star Citizen racing community and as a badge of honor in Anzia's Discord. They'll receive physical items as well that they can display proudly, having achieved entry into such a prestigious high-skill race. So for the Godly 15, Discord role and badge, limited edition Godly 15 Stellar Endurance Championship t-shirt with their RSI handle, logo, and favorite racing number customized on it. A free physical transparent sticker for the Godly 15. Access to 4K resolution artwork of the icon to use anywhere they want in edited media and future decal system if it comes up officially through the game. As well, a special mention in the Anzia Racing Hall of Stars historical race records, and access to the Godly 15 Racing Legend Club Discord chat. So a little executive suite there. In addition, the player who places first place will earn the title of the Ghost New Babbage and the following rewards. So they'll get the Discord role, they'll get special mention in the Hollow Stars in that historical records section, a transparent Ghost of New Babbage sticker, as well as the 4K artwork for that. There are also some digital items and ship packages that are out there. So the top 3 racers will earn, courtesy of Cloud Imperium Games, a Mirai Razor, a Mirai Racing Suit, and the Mirai Racing Paint for each of those top 3 finishers.
So amazing. The prize package is something that I wish I had the skill to win, and that's kind of where I'm going to leave my involvement at this. I just get to talk. That's what I'm good at. So what I'd love to do is check out the track now. I want everybody to understand how technical this is. When Red was talking about the fact that it is over 250 kilometers of racing that is per lap, and that is not just what we expect to cover. We expect to cover that a lot tonight. So there's going to be a whole lot going on here. Echo, if you could, let's walk our viewers through the track itself and all of the different checkpoints that are involved in tonight's race.
Let's have a look at MB Ghost. Welcome to NB Ghost, a highly technical circuit inspired by real racetracks such as Spa, Nürburgring and Macau. To reach the starting point, begin at New Babbage Spaceport and turn to 300 degrees on your compass, just to the left of the massive Aspire Grand. Pass under the fast train line and above the second train line, headed towards the twin buildings straight ahead. Turn left out of the twin buildings, then fly under the train line and on the right side of the nearest oncoming pillar. Keep turning gently left and around the right side of the next pillar. The next checkpoint is just below Aspire Grand. Pass under the train line, around its pillar on the left side, and then shoot up and through Aspire Grand. Perform a full loop-the-loop of Aspire Grand. And turn left on the gap in the buildings to begin the next section of the track named All Blur. A small Covalex building marks the next checkpoint. Fly to the right side of the train tracks and pass under and between the fast 2 train pillars. Pass around the third train pillar on the left and pitch up, right and around the tallest buildings on the right side. Take a left turn around this blue triangle building and pass between Blue Triangle's largest towers. Weave these 2 train pillars before heading to the next section named after the Nürburgring's carousel. Careful of the trees, pass around this standalone train pillar and aim for this gap in the buildings under the next train line. Fly under the train tracks here to enter the carousel and exit above the train tracks towards these red lit antennas. Next, fly under this metro intersection and around both pillars on the left. 3 buildings on the left mark the entry into the Stellar Split section. Pass between the first 2 buildings of the 3, then loop around the 2 Nest Apartment skyscrapers on the left side. Go through the nearest 2 towers of 3 that you entered Stellar Split on, and pass around the next 2 towers on the left as well. Then, head down towards the train line. Arc around this train line to enter the Hero Park section, and head up towards the Centermass building. Pass around the Centermass and Microtech building on the left side. Head down towards the train line and weave under it, starting on the left side. The final pillar to pass around is just after the 2 observation towers. Take a sharp right towards these 2 buildings that mark the start of the next section, Black Star Cloak. Next, turn left towards these two buildings and get ready to weave around the right side of the building directly in front of the gap between them, before turning left across the cityscape towards the Twin Sandwich Tower, passing it on the left side. Pass this very tall antenna with a big red light on the left side and turn right down towards the edge of the city foundations that stick out like a pear. Fly under the city foundations through two large gaps in the piers. Next, fly between these two observation towers, passing over the train line. Go under the train line and around these two buildings, passing them on the right side, and then aim for these two tall buildings in the distance. Take a left turn here between the towers towards the train line and this pillar. Fly around the train pillar on the left side and up towards these buildings close by, passing between them and turning left back down towards the train line. Aim for these station buildings and fly between the nearest ones in your flight path. Then fly up and left over the city block towards the Omega Aerosports HQ tower and pass around it on the right side under its landing pad. This next section is called the Sanguis Swoop. Aim to pass between the Microtech and Platinum Bay Tower before heading down towards the train line on the other side. Fly down to the left side of the train line and pass under the first two pillars before sweeping up and left towards the bright orange Cuban Interstellar Towers. Stay under the circular holograms when crossing the next two building checkpoints. Pass around the central tower on the left side and aim towards the next Cuban spire. Then fly down, under and around the nearest train pillar just after it on the left side. You're looking for a train pillar straight ahead between these city blocks to connect to. Pass around it on the right side. Cross over the city foundations, passing this train pillar on the right side. Staying under the train lines, perform a hairpin right turn around these twin buildings. This next section is called Jazz Jack. It's a corkscrew dance up and around the train tracks here to avoid the city foundations below. Passing under the train line and around the left side of this pillar before these twin observation towers, followed by a weave between the next incoming pillars until the end of the train line. Hairpin left around the last pillar towards the parallel train line and weave its pillars starting with the first one. After the first pillar, exit the second pillar heading up towards the top of these two buildings. Take a right turn between them and the next two nearest oncoming towers until you are headed towards the tallest Covenix headquarters tower in the near distance. Pass around the Covenix headquarters tower on the left and head down towards the nearest train line and pass under it here. Then aim up towards the tallest Glacier Green headquarters tower to pass it on the right side and begin the Crux Coil section of the track. Turn towards the nearby purple lit Nest Department tower and pass around it on the left side, heading down to the train line below. Pass under the split and the train line and then around this pillar on the left, cutting back towards the other train line to pass around its nearest pillar on the right side. Stay to the right side of the next pillar, go under the train line and fly on the right side of these four flags. Passing under the last train line of the track, aim for this gap between the foundation and the building in front of it to return to the start line of NB Geist. This completes a lap of NB Geist. If you want to prove you are one of the fastest ghosts of New Babbage, submit a time trial to the community leaderboards of scr.gg. This track was made for competitive esports ship racing. Race together by visiting enzaracing.com. Made possible and Star Citizen. Join the verse by visiting play.sc. Enzia Racing would like to thank the following.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you impressed? Are you impressed? That is dozens upon dozens upon dozens of checkpoints across 900 kilometers of snow. It is amazing what we are about to watch. So we are really looking forward to this. If you have any questions about the race, obviously, Red said this in the beginning. This is a very technical track. We want you to enjoy this as much as you possibly can because this is something that you will never see again. We are only doing these qualifiers once, and then after this, we find out who the Ghost of New Babbage is. But please feel free to ask in chat if you are watching us live on Twitch. Feel free to ask questions in chat. We or other race officials will be happy to help you out, whether it's regarding this track or the racing community as a whole. So along those lines, I do want to start letting everybody know how this works regarding points. So this is a Grand Prix qualifier. This is a point system. Pilots can earn the points for the Grand Prix races that they complete based on their finishing position, okay? The maximum that one pilot can earn per race is 150 points. I had to do the math in my head. It's 150 points. All the other tracks are weighted on length compared to the Super Dragon Tofu run because that was where we did our first qualifiers. And they're given a bonus if the race is more technical. So keep that in mind. So, for example, Super Dragon Tofu run's length was divided by today's track length, and it's rounded to 0.6. But we are giving it a 0.1 technical bonus in the point weight range. That was for Super, not today. Here you can see each of the Grand Prix point pools. We're going to bring that up on screen as you see lovely now. Thanks, Echo. You beat me to it. Good job. Terra, Nix, and Castra System, which we're really looking forward to those folks. You're going to see more tracks get brought online. The Anzia team is going to be hard at work developing new courses for everybody to race in. So that's going to be a lot of fun when it happens. But this is how the point system will work for today. We are looking at the column on the right. So the Super Grand Prix number 2, 143 bazillion kilometers. Point weight is 0.7 for today. Thank you. So glad I clarified that. 0.7 for today. Total point pool is 837. Red, are we ready to introduce some of our friends?
Yeah, I think we'll see who is out there tackling this race and the starting grid. So, to start off, we have Jellyhead Mead, who is supported by the Sanguis Luna pit crew team. Next, we have Tint, supported by the Frontier Consolidated pit crew team. We have Liquid Prime, supported by Sanguis Luna and their pit crew team. Neojet, supported by Sire Racing pit crew.
We get introduced to some of these as part of the pit crews. We get introduced to some of these amazing teams that are supporting these racers. Up next is number 12. We've got Kelsar, who is also, again, supported by Sanguis Luna pit crew. They are legendary for their involvement in racing. Number 13 is Nafty, also supported by Frontier Consolidated. And then finally, we have Data Machine, or Data Machine, depending on how nasty you are, who is supported by the XGR pit crew. So we are very much looking forward to this this group of 7. If they're a team, we're going to have a problem. This group of 7 racers that are going to be jumping into tonight's race. And I believe the racers are nearly ready. We should be looking at a grid pretty soon, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 7 racers racing around the track tonight. This is a coordinated race launch. So I just want to let everybody that is watching live know, coordinated race launch. It is coordinated between the event and the live stream staff. It is similar to what if you were part of our 24-hour race, the literally record-breaking, history-making Crux Cup 24-hour race. It'll be similar to that. The race director, who for today I believe is just Noise Maze. Echo, is that correct? Is not race director?
Yep, just Noise Maze today. Plus our lovely race timers, Draconis and Tiger Weiss are out there. We've got cameras ready. We're going to switch to that. So we'll see you at the end of the race. Let's go see how the field is doing.
We're going to check on our racers.
You see Julie had me getting lined up. You'll see on the left side that will have the racer and their lap counter as those are progressing. And a couple of shout outs here for the live stream crew. First, again, Echo Bits, Papa Juggernaut, Red Monster SC will be your commentators here in the booth. We've got Noise Maze for our race director, Timers, Draconis NZ, and Tiger Weiss. Race officers are going to be Sergeant Griff at the dock pit, Astromedic at Gate 1 for the 50% rejoin marker, and we don't have a District 3, but if you watch the EU qualifiers later on, we'll have Zollner there. For our camera operators, we have Oleg Line providing us live views here at New Babbage, and it looks like the snow, there was a bit of a warning early that there was a snowstorm coming through. That seemed to have cleared up, at least for the time being. And we do have a couple of virtual photographers. You might see their names pass across the screen here. Andrew Me66 and Finchzar, who will be doing photography within game.
I got to tell you, as somebody who pretends to be a virtual photographer on a regular basis, having these two involved with these races is absolutely nothing short of incredible. They are some of the most talented creators of visual content that I have seen in anywhere in the Star Citizen community. So to have Andrew, MI66, and Finchzar help lend some beautiful visuals after the race. So grateful for them to being here, and everybody that has volunteered. I think it's important for everybody to understand that everyone doing this today, all of the race staff and the commentators and the organizers, this is all volunteer work, guys. This is just because we love the game, we love the community, we love what's possible, and we're very, very honored to be part of this. And we could not do this without so many of you watching and retweeting and posting and joining discords and supporting racers, making noise in the chat, doing all the things that you do as a racing community. So thank you so much. And please, please, please remember that today you've got 2 hours of cheering to do. So make sure you've got your tea, make sure you've got your chai, make sure you've got your coffee, make sure you got whatever's going to fuel you, because this is going to be a really good time.
Yeah. And of course, we watched that track guide. There's going to be some hairpin turns, some very technical sections of this track. Yeah, coming in at about 140 kilometers distance, there's a lot to get through. There is a 50% rejoin. So in the event that someone passes beyond that 50% portion of the race, they can rejoin at that gate instead of having to start at gate 1. But beyond that, you have two positions where you're allowed to rejoin and try and get some of those additional laps.
I think we were just getting a hello wave from Data Machine over here.
Yeah.
All the racers getting ready. And by the way, if this is your first time ever checking out a Anzia Racing event, you are going to see some of the most amazing live camera work anywhere in gaming right now. These people are very experienced at doing this. There is years of practice that goes into these. The tracks are well known. The racers are well known. Safe points are well known. So I really do hope you enjoy the visuals that go along for the next couple of hours as we watch some very talented people. And that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 2.5 minutes away from the launch of this race. It looks like the grid is set up.
30 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Let's
they're off.
go.
Woo! All
It's
right,
race
chat.
day.
Let's see your favorites. Post your names up in chat. Who are you going to be rooting for the next 2 hours? The Still Endurance Championship Qualifier 2, U.S. and Australia servers, or U.S. and Australia racers.
Yeah, we are wishing the absolute best of luck to our 7 racers today. Jellyhead made in the pole position, followed by Tint, Liquid Prime, Neojet, Kelsar, Nafty, and Data Machine.
Brewlock shouting out for Data Data.
Data Data.
Data Data.
Data Data. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to channel my inner Croncy for Data Machine.
No, I say, you know what? No. I say if the Aussies couldn't show up, then we do it American style.
Yeah. I did see there was I saw that, and it looks like it's called out in chat here. Tint may have painted himself onto the side of a building already. We haven't seen an official alert on the scorecard here.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Ship destroyed. Tint. Wow. All right, get it out of the way now. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, and Data Machine.
And Data. Okay. My goodness. This is a rough start. We're not even half a lap in yet.
Well, you know what? Fail fast, but get it sorted.
Yeah. Well said.
I'm gonna throw it out there. Maybe they saw their hydration below 50% and decided now was the time to get a reset on their characters. You see the G-forces that come through that.
Yeah. It's a good reason to fail fast, as you said. I am really curious about the terrain here. Liquid Prime still number 2, it looks like now. Tint made room.
Yeah, Tint made room. It's going to be difficult because there aren't many checkpoints where the positioning will update. I think at about the 50% mark, potentially, but we're not going to see updates on the official position until they finish the first lap. So
we're going to be looking at sort of the live, live position changes, live crash callouts. Obviously, our race officials, they do an excellent job of bringing those up on screen to let everybody know what we're seeing, just in case they step away. And this is an audio-only adventure for our listen. I guess at that point they transition from viewer to listener. So if we have any listeners out there, welcome to Anzia Racing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was one of those hairpins.
Yeah. Height, 270-degree turn.
Yeah, it's unreal what some of these tracks demand of the racers here. Oh, excellent in-cockpit view. Love to see this. This is the in-cockpit view for Liquid Prime.
Yeah, we'll be seeing a handful of racers providing these views within the broadcast today. And one thing you want to pay attention to, you've got redouts and blackouts. The G-forces that you're experiencing, even though it's an atmosphere, still pulling as he almost blacks out here.
There you go. Yeah,
it's something you've got to balance out between how fast you want to go and just the G-forces within this atmosphere that are really pulling at you.
So incredibly close to the ground there as they come out of that turn. Not seeing a huge gap here forming. Jellyhead and Liquid Prime seem to be sticking fairly similar apart. Nothing. Jellyhead's not really pulling away yet. We're not seeing any crazy moves. Do you think so? One of the things that I'm curious about, because all I do is talk about racing, I don't actually have the skill to do it, is the white terrain. Is the whiteout? I'm going to actually add that to your list. A whiteout, a redout, and a blackout. If we get a snowstorm here, are we really talking about conditions that could make the visibility a race factor?
Yeah, well, obviously, in the lore behind this race, it was discussed being a whiteout snowstorm with 5 meters of visibility, going at top speed. So,
yeah, that's gonna be a tough scenario if we get a snowstorm that rolls in here to Microtech. Just terraforming gone wrong, and it could cause some racing gone wrong too.
Oh yeah, that gap right there, threading the needle.
Hmm.
Some of these turns are just beautiful.
Sitting at just over 4 kilometers apart here. Looks like Jellyhead has started to create a gap. Liquid's staying hot on his heels though. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Very tight turn there for Liquid.
And the mental aspect here, knowing each of these checkpoints as you're going through, because the city itself could look very similar depending on where you're at. So quite easy to get lost, disoriented potentially. But these racers have practiced this course and yeah, hopefully hit all the checkpoints and the gaps. So
God, I remember from the first qualifiers, we were talking about I want to say it was Fresh had spent over 100 hours practicing. Does this ring a bell to you?
um, yeah, I it may have been on a different broadcast, but I am absolutely certain that racers are going through practicing these runs, trying
Yeah.
to maximize their just muscle memory between this. And with the tracks that were available in game previously, not currently implemented right now, but those the racing tracks within the mission system, those would still require a little bit of practice, but a much
Mhm.
smaller, less technical track for sure. It's got the official gates. And that's one of the challenges here. These racers, it's all based on memory.
Yeah, they've got to memorize every checkpoint, how to get through them, where they're turning, when they get into the turn. I mean, again, you said this in the beginning. It is such a technical track, and that is one of the beautiful things that I really enjoy about watching these races, both as a fan and as a commentator. Is we're seeing such amazing racing skill put on display. The pilot work that we get to witness on these events is second to none in Star Citizen. I don't know anything else that requires such preparation and memorization and skill.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a testament to the racers and their commitment, but also to the communities that are out here designing these tracks and really putting that challenge out there to excel at the top tier of racing in Star Citizen.
And we have Echo and the rest of the team at Anzia Racing to thank for that.
I love how this track turned out. You just saw what we call the Crux coil, and you could see Jelly doing a full barrel roll twice around that coil.
Hmm.
We designed it specifically that was the optimal way to do it and chain those skyscrapers together. And here you're seeing all of the culmination of that, where the challenge is there. This is what the racers wanted. This is what they asked for. And here they are delivering all of their hard work and training to show you what they can do.
It's good flow within the track there. We just saw Jellyhead Mead with the 6.5 minute lead lap. So completing
So we
lap
can
number
now.
one.
That's right. We can very confidently say that Jellyhead is the fastest racer on the track so far. Of all the laps that have been completed, Jellyhead's is the fastest.
Yeah, and Liquid Prime getting his first lap completed as well. Those two, slight separation, and it looks like Jellyhead Mead's pulled away a little bit. Uh, there's a couple of sections of the track you'll get that impound warning, and this F-lock loop here, right up above the building. I love this.
Beautiful track design. Now, of
The
course, some might remember that on the Orison, on the Super Dragon run, that is actually the Echo Flip.
That's right, we had to have Echo Flip 2.0, and that one challenged our racers in a really unique way when they came to practice. They were struggling with it because you build up Gs immediately. It's a continuous G build up. They tried many things like a 2-stage turn, breaking it up into 3 separate turns, and then also tried different strafe combinations to try and reduce the Gs. And overall, each of them came up with a unique way of handling that flip. So you'll see that today. You'll see that the Gs are very well managed, but some of them will do it in 2 stages. Some of them will do it with extra strafe input. based on their flight style. So everyone has a unique flight style, a unique flying style in the racing community. And you'll see that on display today.
And that's something that develops over time with their practice. I know personally watching some of these racers on their own personal streams, doing their practices and just running through additional tracks. One thing we saw just there was one of those racers was sideways. They were kind of 90 degrees up off the ground. So, kind of flying that sideways gives them a little bit better maneuverability through the slaloms here. We'll see it again. I got to say that I'd have a hard time. It just feels unnatural right now. But obviously, with a good amount of practice, you'll be able to make that happen.
Echo, am I correct? The effect that Red was just describing, because this is the sort of optimal way to fly, is typically at these 90-degree angles. Is that because of the flight mechanics inside Star Citizen? Is that something unique to the game?
Yep, so it is actually very unique to Star Citizen compared to, say, Microsoft Flight Simulator. So a big difference between Microsoft Flight Simulator and Star Citizen is that our spaceships have extra maneuvering thrusters that can produce thrust in any direction, 6 degrees of freedom, and that can be utilized in atmosphere. These thrusters work in atmosphere and can often support you and help you resist gravity. And the side thrusters are just enough to resist that gravity and give you extra stability to be pre-rolled like a plane, so you don't have to fly at level all the time, just like a plane. That's why a lot of these spacecraft don't even have like very big wings, because they have powerful thrusters that support them too. They have the aero for extra stability, but they don't need too much lift. Some of them will get that eventually, like you'll see the Gladius start to utilize those control surfaces more to generate lift. But right now, spaceships can still go fast, just like jet fighters too, with space technology.
Oh, ship destroyed for Data Machine. That is number 2 on the ship destruction. Data Machine not able to get a lap in yet, but everybody else has checked in. So Jellyhead Mead is in the lead. Liquid Prime 25 seconds behind. Nafty about 21 seconds. Quelsar 6 seconds behind Nafty. That Quelsar Nafty grouping, if they've kept it, that's what we're looking at right now. They are pretty close. Behind that is Neojet and Tint. Both, I think, had about a minute gap between the next racer. And of course, Tint coming in, having that early destruction, as well as Data Machine. Data Machine getting a second ship destruction before the first lap is complete. And we are about 11 and a half minutes in. So we'll start seeing lap number 2s coming in for Jellyhead Mead and some of those leads.
Yeah, this is where we're going to start to see groups pull apart. This is where we're going to start to see, perhaps, we might start to see some pilot fatigue. We're going to start to see some gaps, perhaps. Or we could, see people, they got their first lap in, they're comfortable, they're reminded of what the track is again, and maybe now they're going to start pushing it and closing some gaps. But we're going to start seeing this now. We should see it if Jellyhead is keeping even a similar pace. We are just over 1 minute away from potentially seeing Jellyhead complete lap number 2.
Yeah. We see again Nafty, Quelsar, both coming in. Right on top of each other.
Yeah, right there. Nafty's got a bit of a gap to close to catch up to Liquid Prime, but Quelsar certainly not letting Nafty feel at ease. Kelsar's right there, probably yelling at him, and you can hear it through the cockpits. I bet they're that close.
Yeah, and they are in a voice channel with each other, doing call-outs with their race officiants. So I guarantee Quelsar and Nafty are discussing. Quelsar's planning whether he's going to overtake or if he just wants to ride the jet wash there.
Speaking of Nafty, that is the camera angle we're looking at right now is Nafty's perspective. Look at that turn. My goodness, what do you think? 260, 270, 280? That was, whew.
Yeah.
Tight turns. But Nafty, like I said, a little bit of a gap here. Looks like Data Machine coming in fastest. Wow. Jellyhead increasing speed. Unbelievable.
6 minutes, 24 seconds. That's our current fastest lap.
7 seconds shaved off the previous lap time. Almost 8.
Yeah, from a dead start, you'd expect that lap one versus lap two. Now we'll see if they can maintain consistency. If there's maybe a couple of lines they're able to run a little smoother, we could see some additional time shaved off of that. But
Sure.
yeah, we are just at the very beginning, 1 and 2 laps for most of our racers at this point. But we'll see what times they're able to put through.
Echo, I don't know how much insight you have into how the teams are configured, but with Data Machine being supported by XGR, it looks like data was also coming potentially from Tressler. Do you know the setup of XGR and what the ship setup is?
Yes. So they will be running a Polaris. If they're out there, if everything
Ah,
went well. Sometimes we get Star Citizen, and Regen can break.
of course.
But if he's at Tressler, the team will be figuring it out, and hopefully Data Machine's going to come out okay. Looks like he's back in the field already, so quick rejoin nonetheless.
There's
It is a tough
Nafty,
time.
Quasar. We saw Tint in the background there on a different section of the track. Everybody, Nafty and Quasar are both getting their second laps in. So we'll see what the gap is. Just 3.1 seconds between those two. So
Unreal. They're doing an amazing job. But Echo does bring up a good point, everybody. This is a difficult time, especially in the Stanton system right now. The regen crisis still impacting so many of our fellow citizens. So myself and Red Monster and other, industrialists and haulers like us, we're doing our best to bring forth as many supplies as we possibly can to help alleviate the problem.
yeah, we had our Sunday morning mining sessions were dedicated to that resource drive, getting all the resources mined out as best as we could. That was a fun experience, and a big change of pace to the mining industry, where Quantanium was no longer the key priority, going for those bulk resources.
Yep. Okay. We just got an update from one of our unofficial officials. So we're taking a look at some information here regarding the respawns and the teams. But we're gonna be talking about that periodically throughout the race, and we still have at least 1 hour and 45 minutes to go in this race. So plenty of time, everybody. Just remember, keep not only cheering in chat, but also when you see that link for the Anzia Racing merch, you can check that out. It is a beautiful web store on the Anzia Racing website. You get to check out everything from socks to t-shirts, and everything in between. So if you are looking to support Anzia Racing, one of the best ways you can do it is to not only purchase, but also wear your Anzia merch as you go around your world. Make sure that you are doing that. And again, you will see links in the chat periodically reminding you to do so.
Yeah. That Nafty Quelsar combination there, going back into Nafty's screen. You see the head positioning here using either a track IR or the Tobii eye tracker, getting a great visibility on some of these gaps. That's what's shifting the perspective inside the cockpit as these racers are flying around. So
I hope I don't use the incorrect term, but Tobii eye tracker and CIG are, I believe, technically partners, or at least they're friends enough to where you can get discounts on Tobii eye tracker software and hardware just for Star Citizen. So.
yeah, it works very well. They are officially partnered with Star Citizen, Cloud Imperium Games, for the Tobii eye tracker 5 and their software. So definitely a good investment if you're serious about flight sim hardware. Now, this game can be run on keyboard and mouse just fine. That's one of the questions I see a lot is, do you need a fancy flight sim setup, joysticks and rudder pedals and eye trackers? No,
No,
but
you don't.
they certainly enhance the experience. And, you get into situations like this, technical races where you want as much control as possible. And that definitely helps out.
Let me make something very, very clear. I can crash on any hardware. So you don't need fancy sticks. You don't need fancy software. You could be just like me and die however you want.
Yeah. And we see an update Tint, and it looks like NeoJet had merged at the starting line. Initially reported as no damage, but now Tint seems to have lost speed due to that collision. So there may be some damage they're working through. Tint getting back out for hopefully a fresh ship.
Still glad to see Data Machine actually completing their first lap. So rough time though. 18, just over 18 minutes. 18 minutes and 10-second lap there for Data Machine. Hopefully lap number 2 is going to be clear and they get to see something a little more normal.
Oh, did we just see Quelsar overtake Nafty? They are a few hundred
It
meters
happened.
apart.
It did, yes. Good call.
They're just trading here, one versus the other. You know, you in that position, one of them is going to be kind of guiding the other through these areas, and you just hope that they go through the right track. You've got to you get into the habit of following them, and maybe they run a line that's a little bit suboptimal, and it pushes you a little further off of your line. That would be unfortunate, but
yeah.
Jellyhead made 6 minutes 20 seconds for third lap, so new fastest lap for Jellyhead, who is firmly in the lead, finishing the third lap now.
Shaving another 4 seconds off. Update, Tint has been approved to ditch the Razor at the 50% checkpoint and respawn. All right.
Good recovery there, and a fair call from the race officials, because yeah, the way that Star Citizen runs sometimes is suboptimal, and we may have just seen Nafty take over Quelsar.
Oh, now we see why.
That I don't see a ship there. I'm there. It's probably a little small to see a body.
Kelsar has had an unexpected sudden stop.
Mm-hmm. You see, it's not going fast that kills you. It's suddenly becoming stationary.
That's correct.
And with Quelsar's first crash of the day, I think that's when the commentators all take a drink.
That's fair enough. I mean, we didn't cause it either. We were cheering on Nafty, so. I do have to disclose that to our viewer and listening audience here. I am a very unbiased, objective commentator. I am not an objective fan. I am a big fan of Kelsar. I know the guy personally. He was one of my first racing trainers ever. Kelsar is just a really great, calm, positive force within the racing community. It's been great to get to know him. So I'm always a Kelsar fan whenever he's in a race. Sorry to see Kelsar every time he crashes, but love seeing every time he wins.
Yeah. And I want to give a quick shout out in chat. Royal Kitsune gifting 5 subs. Appreciate that support. Thank you so much. And there's the Neojet coming in kind of towards the back of the pack there.
Yeah,
Liquid Prime up ahead.
Yep. Which has me very confused about positioning right now because Neo is behind Liquid but ahead of Jelly. Oh,
yeah, could be they're lapping each other here because Liquid and Jelly were both on lap number 3, but there are sections of this track that are very close to each other. They do some parallel passes, so that may be what we had witnessed.
Okay.
Unless we see them run on the same line. There's been a couple sections of this track that will be close together.
Yeah. Could be me not knowing what I'm looking at. Neo, it looked like Neo was following Liquid Prime. But then again, Jellyhead I thought was also right behind. So we'll see it if we get a farther out view or an overhead. We're going to take a look at the entire grid.
I think what that proves to us is that, number one, the commentators do not have to memorize this track, thankfully.
Amen.
There we see the gap. Jellyhead Mead 47 seconds behind is Liquid Prime. A minute behind is Nafty. Then the next lap for Quelsar. Tint a minute 50, and that's going to grow a little bit. Tint and Neojet were actually just 1 second apart when they had that initial merge at the starting line. So that, of course, causing some damage for Tint, which he's working on getting recovered at the 50%er. And the red out as the G-forces take hold. Great lighting conditions today, right?
Yeah, I mean, so far we're getting blessed with good weather here. What I was gonna say was I think that Kelsar is gonna lose a little bit of time here because Kelsar should have been close to the lap marker right before the crash there, so probably losing some distance.
Yeah, definitely. And that section of the track just seeing some great flow.
Hmm. Okay, so we just got an update from Noisemaze, our race director. Racers are confirming live that collisions and crashes and damage do impact the speed bug.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a complication factor here in today's race.
So now that is a specific set of conditions. You can bring a vehicle in from space, basically, in quantum travel potentially, and it allows a little bit faster overall speed. Echobit, do you want to tell us a little bit more about the details behind this speed bug that they are using today, and how that affects the overall race?
That's right. So, just to preface this, one of the things that we love at NZ Racing is going very fast. And when there is some unexpected, unintended benefit to be gained with speed through the staging of quantum boosting and the flight model updates, basically how this works is unrestricted top speed is coming into atmosphere for all ships. And that data is staged in the game. And we can carry that data down from space into atmosphere as long as we don't trigger any of the current master mode top speed check code. So to avoid that, we don't toggle landing gear, we don't toggle master modes, we just bring our unrestricted top speed from space down into atmosphere. And the benefits of that, you get 100 meters per second faster in a razor, and you get more aerodynamic grip because the faster you go, the better traction you have with the atmosphere. And that makes for safer racing. So we've allowed that in this competition because everyone can do it very easily, and we all start in space when we reach in as racers anyway. So yeah, we're enjoying it. Faster speeds for everyone.
Yeah. And
I
yeah,
do want to
that
call out the fact that, real quickly, Data Machine has finished their second lap at a very respectable 6 minutes 49 seconds. So right into the groove. Looks like Data Machine is going to be a little more competitive in this race, even after a couple of early crashes. Tint also doing a great job. Tint's last lap time was 6 minutes 33 seconds. So right there on the tails of Jellyhead's original lap. So I think this is going to be a little more competitive as this race goes on.
Yeah, definitely. We see Jellyhead completing fourth lap. He's got to run a clean line since everything is, going to be, depending on where you get damaged, it's going to be a little bit tough to recover if you do end up crashing. So they talk about 3 minute respawn time coming from space. That's both to get a backup ship brought in and fly it down from space from that Port Tressler orbital. So, and Liquid Prime is just 54 seconds behind Jellyhead Mead. So that is a pretty close gap there. We see Liquid Prime taking this flip and maneuver through the new Babbage. What is the name of the tower there? The Aspire Grand?
Aspire Grand!
Fire
You got it.
Called New Babbage my home a few times. They have a couple of great shops there for mining hardware, a lot of good amenities for the industrial folks, but it is far outside on the edge of the Stanton system. But
Just so everybody
some
knows,
great money options.
Kayla you're just seeing them joining the party here in the game. Kayla Star is going to be joining us for this race, doing some additional camera work. So we've got a new view
Thank you,
coming in.
Star.
Yay. Right. And Liquid Prime. There we see. I
Yeah.
haven't seen Jellyhead meet up on camera recently.
We
Oh,
can bring
but
up
Liquid
Jelly. Let's have a
Prime,
look at Jelly.
There they
There
are.
he is, 10 kilometers
uh,
ahead. He's at
Liquid
the
Prime
50%
just
rejoin.
completed their fastest lap, 6 minutes 31 seconds.
Good
That
job,
is
Liquid.
wonderful.
There we go. Thank you, Oleg. Great camera work. You know, it looks like I don't know if this is an optical illusion, but it's probably not. It looks like they're going so fast.
Yeah. No, I think it is deceptive. You would see right now about 500 meters a second through some of these buildings. And man, that is very little margin for error. Some of these areas where you're threading the needle at 500 meters per second, you've got to maintain that to be competitive with this group of racers. And it's tough. And as we saw, just about any collision here will be fatal. You know, you're going to be resetting. So you've got to run a perfect line, not collide into anything. Watch all of your clearances, and man, just shaving paint there as you saw Liquid Prime run through that slalom.
90-degree turn for the entire leg. That's crazy. Always doing it at an angle.
You
Oh, there we are. We
Quillstar
see
in the back
Kelstar
there.
again. Yeah.
Successfully rejoining.
Neojet had a very slow lap 3, almost 9 minutes long. Still waiting on Neojet to complete lap number 4. Should be coming up any time now. Right now, we've got about half the pack. Jellyhead Made, Liquid Prime, and Nafty all completed lap 4. Liquid Prime, again, setting their fastest lap speed so far. We are waiting on Neojet, Kelsar, Tint, and Data Machine to finish their current laps.
And really great flow through this section of the track as well. We see Liquid Prime coming back through. And yeah, Jellyhead, Mead, Liquid Prime, Nafty all on lap 4. Neojet, Quillsar, and Tint on lap 3. Data Machine, again, starting off with 2 collisions, once right out the gate and once before completing that first lap. So Data Machine working on a deficit here, but trying to hold through strong. The Neojet, Liquid Prime, Jellyhead, Quillsar, Data Machine, kind of in view in this area. It's great to see all the racers out doing their thing. And how much of an impact do you think the party markers will have on those racers as they're trying to maintain their lines, maybe distracting their visual display?
But I gotta
It's
say,
always a
this
risk.
is definitely an improvement over Super Dragon Tofu Run, which had a lot of straights where the party markers would all clump up. You couldn't necessarily read how far away someone was, or maybe even who was coming at you or you were chasing. This one is continuous turns. We couldn't build any significant straights into this track, so all the names, clear skies most of the way around, which is nice. I think they'll be enjoying it.
This is Liquid Skies going up past Astromedic, one of our race timers, I believe, or checkpoint officer.
50% rejoin marker. And this section is called Jazz Jig. This is the most dangerous part of the track, where we ask them to slalom between two train lines, so closely next to buildings as well. Some of them have to slow down for it, as something our racers don't usually do is apply the brakes. This one has brought out the brakes, where they have to really manage their speed through a lot of these very technical sections.
Yeah. And just getting an update from the production crew here. The star will set in an hour and 15 minutes. We got an hour and 27 minutes left to race. So the last couple of laps here are going to be in the illuminated nightscape of New Babbage. Going to give us a great cinematic shift. And of course, as we're getting a little closer to star set, we see the star on the horizon getting a little bit lower. It's going to be right in people's faces. Right now, it's a little elevated, but that could be pretty blinding. I don't know if you have ever commuted with the sunrise or sunset right down that line into your face. There are probably going to be a few sections of this track that will be a little more difficult to navigate because of that.
And that takes me right back to that question I asked earlier about the potential whiteout conditions. When we are looking at something where the entire scenario from your ground to your sky is white, if you've got sunshine beating off all of these things, this is going to be tough.
Definitely. We see some clean lines here. Went up on the
There we
F-lock
go.
flip.
Go with the flip.
And just watch as these G-forces build nearly
Yeah.
into blackout conditions.
Yes.
Oh, and pulls it through. Mastering exactly how much thrust to put in there.
Liquid Prime has just finished lap number 5 at 6 minutes 37, almost 6 minutes 38 seconds. Let's see. Kelsar and Tint both completed lap number 4. Wow, Tint did a great 6 minutes 22 on that last lap. Fastest lap so far for Tint. 6 minutes 22 seconds. We are now. Data Machine has completed lap number 3. So, the pack is moving forward really, really well, accident free, and we'd love to see this.
Just a couple of collisions out there. Jellyhead Meat at lap number 5, Liquid Prime with 5, Nafty, Quelsar, and Tint all at 4, and then Neojet and Data Machine at lap 3. So, and looking at the gaps here, 6.5 minutes behind for Data Machine. We kind of expect that with some of the other collisions they've seen. 4 minutes behind with Nafty and Quelsar. So I know we had that Quelsar collision. He was able to get back and rejoin, make up some of that. Tint, of course, a minute 26 behind. So they've got some good separation on the track right now as we see Nafty going through a little bit more of that flow section. And that's a good question, EchoBit. Is there something you could wear in game that would allow you to withstand more G-forces?
Eventually, that is the intention with the Star Citizen flight suits. We have been given a couple of helmets, a couple of racing suits this year, which are intended to help you with G-force management. And particularly the racing suit. There's a Mirai one, there's a Mirai Cup one, an Origin one. All of those will help you with that. And something else that CIG has in mind is giving it extra mobility and good EVA thrusters, so that you can do on-foot races as well if you need to run really fast somewhere, or even EVA fast somewhere as well, which will be quite useful for our pit routines as well.
And so you say that that is planned, but is it not yet implemented?
It is not yet implemented, so that is coming up with the future release. A lot of armor sets are being implemented before their functionality is brought online with Starware. Starware, the name of that technology.
Yeah.
Echo, these
And,
are concepts, right? They're not even on the roadmap, if I remember correctly.
So yes, we were presented the design documents for how all of this is going to work in CitizenCon last year. I would love to see an update to see if any of that's changed, and if there are any new specializations, because we have 3 different kinds of racing in Star Citizen, particularly what we do at Anzia Racing with ship and ground. I think it'd be cool to see a racing suit that's good for driving ground vehicles, that's more tailored for longer endurance races. It doesn't necessarily need the G-forces, but it maybe has like a camel pack that can like hydrate you and give you food on the way while you're driving, so you could do longer endurance races with that, and a flight suit for atmosphere and space racing. So space would be more G-force chain, and atmosphere could have probably a good balance between the two. So I'd love to see some of that as well. If there's any sub-specializations, there you go. There's my thoughts on that, CIG.
Yeah. And it was really an interesting, if you go back and watch the CitizenCon from last year, they really bring in some gamification on the equipment. Right now, aside from light, medium, and heavy armor offering just a various protection level, and also mobility shifts. If you're in a full heavy armor suit, you're going to move a little bit slower. especially with the new stuff you find in the 80, what is it, the ASD facilities. There, your movement is highly restricted, but getting things like enhanced G-force resistance and something like maybe some, I don't know, what else would you want to see here? Maybe a little bit quicker mobility within your racing controls.
Absolutely. And I'd also like to see. Actually, I'll say, because CitizenCon is about a week away, everyone, and we should all look forward to that. There is a goodies pack that's been released with that, and the initial suit that they showcase on the front of that pack looks kind of like a heli pilot pet crew. Really
it's got some
bulky
flight
spherical
mechanics to it, I
helmet kind of
think.
thing. And I'm like, is that like another, is that like a specialized flight suit for, maybe a bulky aircraft, where it's like you don't necessarily need the G-forces, but you might get more mobility, you might get some other benefits, and I think pit crew might benefit from that as well. So yeah, I'd love to see some more suits that are tailored for all kinds of roles, and particularly when crafting comes online, we can take those as a base and tune them how we want. So that would be so awesome.
Well, I think any new suit mechanics that are favorable to ground racing are going to be very much appreciated by our friends over at Atmo Esports, who run the Daymar Rally, one of the most famous ground races in Star Citizen. I think they're going to be looking forward to those things as well, and that's one of the beautiful things of the racing community, is that there is so many events going on. There is a race for everybody to either participate in or enjoy. It's one of the best communities in gaming.
I totally agree, and I will just add that we are doing Anti-Gravity Racing League and Arena Commando this year. We've done it this year there. I do want to move it into the PE one day. I'm going to move it into the persistent universe when the physics model and networking has been worked on a bit more, and things are a lot more stable for ground vehicles. I really want to bring what we do here with ships, which is it's a really good model. The networking is very good for flying the spaceships. I want that for ground vehicles too, but as soon as it's ready, I'll move us to the persistent universe as well.
Now, how many of you have played the Kill Collector Arena Commander mode for the Day of the Vara Bone Collectors event?
I couldn't get in.
Oof.
Yeah,
No!
I could not get into it, so I actually, sorry CIG, I missed the bug, so I still don't have the collectibles, but yeah, I could not get into the event. It was the weirdest thing. It just kept either delaying or throwing me out, so I'm going to give it another try probably tomorrow.
Yeah, we were running that last night as a group, and did see some advice. So I was able to complete it during public matches, and I got all 3 tiers there. But I did get some advice that if you have a custom match and just have a few friends participating, you can also earn it that way. So it doesn't need to be a public match; it can be a private offline type. So.
Oh, that's a lovely thing to do. Nice.
It is. I have a problem though. So I don't have the skill to win a public match, and I don't have friends to have a private match. So I'm out of luck.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you there.
I can help you.
That seems like a personal problem.
Sounds like a jug problem. Yeah, I
can help you out. I'll be your friend.
I got a couple thousand Twitch followers, but I don't have any friends. I just have people who like watching me die.
Yeah, Frozen Gaming volunteered in chat. Thanks for
thanks
Frozen.
There you go, Frozen will help.
I can be your friend.
What's really going to happen is they're all going to just spoil your fun. You'll get 4th place every time.
Exactly. They'll be like, okay, kill us. And then they all gang up on me. That'll be great.
There we are. We see Tint running the slalom, flipping around. Tint's getting some good screen time now. Now Tint is in 5th position, 1 minute behind Quelsar, who's got a 1 lap lead.
We do have our first half of the pack, though. We've got our top three that have completed 6 laps. So the race is running very, very well. We're seeing some incredible skill on display, as I love to say. Our
Yeah.
top two are both Sanguis Luna members, followed by Nafty in number 3, who is part of Frontier, or at least supported by Frontier Consolidated.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably get. I'm gonna guess between 17, maybe an 18 lap, for the first position. If they can maintain a 6 minute 20 second, 6.5 minutes more or less, we may crack into the 18 laps for the leaders, and maybe 14 or 15 for folks, depending on collisions and how clean the rest of the race runs. We're just 45, 44 minutes into it right now, so not quite at the halfway mark. Working our way through.
It is possible. And once again, I have to mention number 2 here, Liquid Prime, who completed their 6th lap at 6 minutes 26 seconds, again setting a personal best here during today's race. Nafty sitting at 6 minutes 51. Who else? Kelsar's last lap was 6:46, also a personal best in today's race. Tint again at 6:20. So Tint's 6:20 is only 23 hundredths of a second slower than Jellyhead's fastest lap. Tint is really putting the pressure on since having those first crashes.
Yes, indeed. And reporting that it is from Noisemaze saying comms are quiet, the racers are focused, everybody's working on running their lines smoothly, and that's really it's a good sign here at just under Jellyhead Mead with a new fastest lap,
New
6 minutes
fastest
20.
lap. I spoke too soon.
023. So, yeah, fractions of a second here, driving that difference. And Jellyhead Mead leading off the 7th lap completion at 45 minutes in.
We have been relatively accident free here in the last few laps, and I wonder if that is a reflection of the focus that we're seeing from the racers. They're not chatting to each other, they're not needing to do a lot of passing, they know their track really, really well. I gotta wonder if that's what's leading to this clean race, where we get to see skill win the game instead of timing.
Yeah, definitely. And you folks there, you're just watching out for party markers. If anything gets too static, yeah, it's a bad sign. But yeah, some interesting aspects going into this race. They are certainly trying their best to run this cleanly.
That's 6. Okay, so we still have our back 3, Tint, Neojet, and Data Machine, who are looking to complete lap number 6. Again, really impressive timings now that everybody's gotten the unintentional boom boom out of the way. I'm really excited about seeing how this race continues to progress with these folks here. I don't see, could be wrong. I don't think we have a lot of grouping here. I don't think we've got anybody really bunching up.
Yeah,
Jelly
there
is
are a
about to
few
lap
that are
Data.
close. Well, Tint at 6
Whoa!
minutes 19.4. He heard us talking about him. He said, "I'm not going to put up with that."
No kidding. But it does. I start to wonder how accurate you might have been when you were guessing about the resetting of the hydration, or whatever it was. Maybe you took a couple of cruise downs and just said, you know what, I'm running. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. There we see
Crazy.
Jellyhead Mead, Data Machine. Jellyhead Mead at the top and Data Machine at the bottom. With Jellyhead Mead coming up behind. It looked like potentially lapping Data Machine again. Jellyhead on lap 7, Data Machine on lap 5. So
Yeah.
the lap separation is there, but the position on the track, they are still going to have to navigate that. And you got to think Data Machine. He wants to hold on to this position, at least not to fall too far behind.
Absolutely. Liquid Prime has completed lap number 7, again setting a personal best of 6:22. So only 2 seconds behind Jellyhead's fastest lap. This is a really, really tight race here.
Yeah, definitely. And with Tint shaving off a couple of seconds here, 2 or 3 seconds, we look at the differences. A minute 16, right? Every single lap, if you're only seeing a 2 to 3 second difference in your personal best, you got to be running this very, very cleanly and hope for someone else to miss their line, or maybe you don't want them to crash. But of course, being a video game with the regeneration available, it isn't quite a fatal experience.
Jellyhead just went inverted there. Still tight on the tail of Data Machine.
Yeah, and it's tough from this angle, especially since there's a lot of verticality within the slaloms and some of these interchanges. But we see there, just chasing down.
Echo, do we have a lap position overlay?
We do. Would you like to talk
Do we
to
have our
it?
spaghetti?
We have our spaghetti. Here's our
Mm.
positional change shot over the course of the race.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the spaghettification as predicted in a black hole. This is the spaghettification of an ANSIA race. You are looking at how each racer has changed in position throughout the progression of the race thus far. We are sitting at lap number 7 for almost all of our racers here. So as you can see, Jellyhead Maid has maintained that solid number 1 position. And after lap 1, essentially we've had Liquid Prime really establishing themselves as number 2. No close competitor yet. Nafty moved into a number 3 spot. And everything after that is everybody fighting.
Yeah, and you see that Neojet returning back above Quelsar Intent briefly before getting sent back on lap 6. So maybe not quite the cleanest line. And Data Machine bringing up the caboose on a solid performance there. Of course, the 2 collisions, 2 crashes will suffer some of those consequences at the bottom of the pack. So, but yeah.
I also
seeing
want to
those
shout
top
out
three-
to Nefty, who had some terrible luck in the first Grand Prix, who was making an absolute killer return. Look at that upward trend. Nefty, keep going. You're doing great. I know you had it rough in the very first Grand Prix, and you said you're going to put a lot of practice in for number 2. It's showing today. Keep it up. You've got this. Just keep it slow, steady, secure that number 3. Make sure you get through okay.
Great comment in chat. I have a 6-pack of apple ciders riding on Data Machine winning. Don't let my taste buds down, Data Machine. No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
I have not been able to look at a 6-pack of Red's Apple Ale since a fateful camping trip in 2014.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Yeah, no, it was ruined for me at that moment, and I don't think I've gone back. I probably should though. There's still some good selection ciders.
Echo, oh, there we go. Okay, so I was wondering if we're looking at Jellyhead Maid. The distance between he and Data Machine is now averaging less than 1 kilometer. That gap is closing pretty rapidly. We're going to see if this becomes another overtake before lap 8. Oh, sorry, just finished lap 8. So Jellyhead Maid has just finished lap 8. Only fractions of a second slower than their fastest lap time, 6 minutes, 20 seconds, 0.39. So right back in there with some very, very fast lap times. I don't think this is going to take too long for Jelly to catch up. But to that point, Data Machine has been running very, very fast laps since those crashes. Last and fastest lap was 6:24. So this is tight. This is going to be quick.
And we'll see the gap as Liquid Prime comes in. We see Jellyhead, me, Data Machine both doing their runs here.
Data, I think, just gave way to Jelly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I
I think we just saw a maneuver. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, that could be a nice strategy for Data Machine. Just deciding to ride Jellyhead Mead's line as well. Leave the focus on just keeping within eyesight and working through that process. We see lap
Data Machine
number
took
8
that a little
completed.
wider than Jelly.
Yeah, and lap number 8, we're gonna see probably lap number 9 before the 1 hour mark rolls over. So I do think 18, potentially a 19th lap, if Jellyhead Mead's able to run things smoothly for the remainder of the race. But we are not even halfway through yet.
Echo, that turn that Jelly just went through where it's got the Microtech banner. What is the name of that turn?
That is called the Carousel. It is named after the Nürburgring Carousel, where you kind of locked into a fixed turn with a a banked concrete section.
Yep.
And because it's so guided with the Microtech banner, we wanted to give it the same name and do a very similar thing. So yeah, just a homage to real life racing, endurance racing that Jez and I do in iRacing. 24 hours of the Nürburgring for the Aries racing team. We wanted that in Star Citizen too.
It does so much for me as a virtual photographer and somebody who loves the visuals of Star Citizen. Just to see that curve go around where you've got the branded wall, I was so glad that you included it in the track. Really well done.
Great visuals
And CRG,
there.
if you're watching, take some inspiration. When you dress up your racetracks, include really cool banners. Lots of branding,
Yes.
sponsors. We want to see flags. We want to see confetti flying.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to see what you guys can do in the next racetracks you build as well.
I would also like
Now,
to see some traffic signs. I'd like to see some things that indicate direction or speed or not just branded materials, but I'd love to see some things that make it look like an actual track or even a road course like a Le Mans, something like that.
Yes, please. Some more cool holographic visuals would be incredible.
mhm. And yeah, with the Arena Commander, they've proven they can do some track dressing.
Yeah.
But getting those into more of a city-like environment here, maybe a next step for some of these community-driven racing tracks.
Well, definitely very intentional. Data Machine allowed Jelly to pass and has just been following on his tail ever since. Again, I would bet you the distance is less than a kilometer here. So maybe, just a great smart move on Data's part. And never mind, that might be a kilometer now. Take it back. That looks like a gap. So maybe a little more than a kilometer.
Yeah, and we see Jellyhead made Liquid Prime both on lap number 8, Nafty, Quelsar, and Tint on lap number 7, Neojet and Data Machine on lap number 6. So solid performance there. On pace for 13, 14 laps on the backside of things, 18, maybe 19 laps at the front of the pack.
And just a reminder, everybody, this particular track is 420 kilometers long.
420.69.
0.69 kilometers long. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah. It's I believe it is over 9,000 kilometers in total distance. The actual track is 143.3 kilometers in distance. The point weight at 0.7 and 837 total points available. Now, first place is going to get 105 points. Second place will get 95, and third place will get 86 on the Stellar Endurance Championships. But first place today, as well as the qualifier for the EU, which is happening a few hours after this. First place between these two groups will be crowned the New Babbage, or the Ghost of New Babbage.
It is a.
Ooh,
Did we see?
having to pull that a little wide. Lost
Yep.
some of the G-force control there. Not optimal.
No, it's those little mistakes that are going to hurt in today's race. Everybody is on their A game.
hmm And again, very quiet and focused within the racers' communication. So just tactical focus as they run their way through Liquid Prime. Nafty's getting lap number 8 complete, so congratulations there. Firmly in third place. We got Quelsar coming in a little bit behind, still on lap number 7. We see Data Machine with Jellyhead Meat right ahead. So maintaining.
I mean, the strategy is working out so far. They allowed the pass, which is great. Also, as you were talking about earlier, this is how we get safe races. We have people. Oh my gosh, 6:18. Wow, Jelly is not letting up. And that's something we have seen across every single qualifier and the GP1 championships. We have seen the people when they are in first place, they usually have commanding leads and they're not getting lazy about it. They're not sitting there taking any position for granted. They're not taking any line for granted. They're holding on to first place and doing a damn good job of it. And I don't think we're seeing any exception to that today.
Jellyhead Mead just had probably one of the cleanest approaches through that F lock at the Aspire Grand Tower.
Hmm.
Nose right up against the architecture there, and I don't think I saw any blackout effects at all. Maintaining that G-force within a very tight turn, and that's the benefit. You go a little bit wider, and you've got to go faster to make up that speed, but you're fighting that centrifugal force, just really slowing it down and nosing into that area where he makes the pivot, going a full head over heels, essentially, through that loop.
There is no mystery as to why Jellyhead is both in first place and currently holding the fastest lap time at 6:18 and a half. Just a commanding performance so far.
Yeah, very very clean line so far, and yeah, you can see Data Machine. The separation they had, Data Machine is now a few kilometers behind. So really running clean lines for Jellyhead made, and hopefully it'll keep up. Now,
Yeah.
throughout the middle of the track, we just saw Tint roll into lap number 8. So 9, 8, and 7 laps. There's not too much of a separation right now, and we are coming in 35 seconds away from the halfway mark.
Good time to remind everybody as we approach the halfway mark of this race. Do not forget that if you want to support Anzia Racing, if you're watching live, you can drop subs or bits in the live chat right now, or pick yourself up some Anzia Racing merch. As I said earlier, you can get the exact same style shirt that I am currently wearing. You will see when we go back to cams later on in tonight. You're going to see Red Monster wearing an official jersey. But you can get your Anzia Racing merch. All you've got to do is go to anziaracing.com/merch, and there are links live in chat right now. Great way to support because those funds go directly towards race development. They go directly to prize pools. They are returned to the community. So if you'd like to support Anzia Racing, that is one of the best ways for you to do it.
Yeah, and the designs are really fire. Like the graphic work that's gone into these, definitely well worth it. I wear mine with pride, and do actually get compliments out and about as I'm wearing my Anzia shirts. People asking, trying to gain a little bit more understanding of what it's representing, and it's a good conversation starter because I don't know about you, PJ, but when I'm out there, I would love excuses to talk about my spaceships.
Yes, absolutely. Man, are you kidding? I think everybody on Twitch knows that I'm just going to be the guy going around going, "Have you heard of a Mercury Star Runner? Have you ever been in a Mercury Star Runner? You should check out a Mercury Star." Yes, absolutely. Talking about the games that make us all, or the ships that make us all concierge. Yeah, absolutely one of my favorite things to do. I am slightly, more than slightly disappointed that my ship has been nerfed into oblivion right now.
Mm.
My MSR is essentially a paperweight, but um, no, it's a fantastic thing when you see people out in the wild. I actually saw a guy. This was probably 9 months or so ago. He was actually wearing a concierge hat, and
Oh,
I just
nice.
like, yeah, I was just kind of, I was like, I did not think I'd see one of those in the wild. But it was really, really cool to see stuff like that. So you never know who's going to play Star Citizen unless you're surrounded by fellow nerds. Then you know exactly who's going to be playing Star Citizen.
And it's that type of thing that really makes this game interesting and unique. We had a Bar Citizen meetup in St. George, Utah. Now it wasn't the most popular or well visited. There were 6, maybe 7 of us, and we ended up going in, and our server recognized my shirt. I had on my
No
RSI
way.
my RSI branded shirt there, and yeah, he recognized the shirt. He's like, "Oh, like you guys play Star Citizen," and it kicked off a conversation. We talked
Oh
about
my
who we
gosh.
were as the local Utah Star Citizens group. That we are between the north and south ends of the state. It's a 8-hour drive more or less from top to bottom. So a lot of region that's covered, but we're well traveled within the state representing that. So.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, St. George is really far south, right?
Yeah, it's closer to Las Vegas than it is to Salt Lake City.
Yeah, exactly. St. George, Hurricane, right? Like,
Yep,
yep.
Laverkin, Tokerville, all those.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that has no reference to illegal substances. So
Not at
weird.
all.
Not at all. Looks
All
like
right.
Nafty chasing Neojet here. Neo, whoa, just went very vertical.
Yeah, we
Whoa,
had
whoa,
a
whoa, wide turn, wide turn. Holy
wide
crap,
there,
Nafty.
and
Whoa.
yeah, that's
And black.
Yeah, so
oh,
close
just
to
at the
blacking out. Good management at the
Man,
last minute.
what an entry, though. That was woo, Nafty taking the
you were
scenic
a,
route.
you were a mouse's whiskers away from watching Nafty paint himself on the side of the building there with nothing to do about it but cry.
Holy. Yeah, and that has increased the distance between Nafty and Neojet. Neo's pulled ahead a little bit. Neo had a very tight turn going through F-Lock, so much better, much better.
I do also want to mention that Neojet passed Lefty about a couple minutes ago. Even though he's a lap down, he is catching up and doing faster lap times. And he's also practiced a lot for this race, and it's really showing here too. Neojet, keep it up. Hang in there. You're doing great. Love to see it.
And we're officially an hour and 4 minutes in, past the halfway point. We're seeing 10 laps from Julie Head Made, Liquid Prime with 9 laps, Nafty with 9, Quelsar, Tint, Neojet, and Data Machine all with 8 laps apiece. So a little bit of separation up to 1 and 2, but positions 3 through 7, they're all on the same lap, and Quelsar and Tint just 4 seconds apart. We did see that was a pretty intense battle for 4th place recently. It was all happened off screen, unfortunately. But yeah, watching Quelsar and Tint duke that out at 4 seconds difference.
Speaking of the halfway mark, we are 1 minute and 5 seconds in. Jellyhead has just finished lap number 10 recently, nearly tied. Only 0.2, no, 0.05. 0.05 seconds slower than the fastest lap time, still sitting at 6:18 and a half. Echo, would you mind if we go back to the point screen just as a reminder now that we're halfway through this race? Probably. We're halfway through this race. If we can go back and remind everybody what the point system is for this Grand Prix number 2 as a qualifying system. This is points based. Red was talking earlier about the fact that there will be 105. Where did my points go? Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
We've got
Not that one. The other one.
close. We're close.
Not that one.
Those are
That's
past
current
winners, and we're very
standing.
proud of them.
These ones. Here we go.
There we go. So Grand Prix number 2, your column on the right, the track is 143.3 kilometers. The point weight is 0.7. But first place is going to pick up 105 points for the series. Second place with 95, and third place picks up 86. This is the new Babbage Ghost track, everybody, and we are just over the halfway mark here. So, you know, Red, I thought that you were kind of crazy with your 18-lap prediction. You might have actually been short.
Ooh, well, you know what? We should have had a drink bet on it. Not too late. Not too late.
Not too late.
I think those are my favorites. I know 2 years ago, CitizenCon in Los Angeles, Kronski and I had a previous drink bet on something, and I lost that one, so I were able to share a beverage there, courtesy of my poor judgment, and several more, which was both of our poor judgment. So
Sounds like good judgment to me. I don't know what to tell you.
that is one aspect of CitizenCon this year that I'm gonna miss is the in-person. Part of the reason why we're working so hard with my local group for a local watch party. So, you know, getting that meet and greet time in between, and really great work from CIG, the developer team that is actually sending developers out to, I believe, 7 or 9 locations internationally. I think 5 of those are within the U.S. and 4 are international. So,
You know,
Different.
on one of my recent streams, I had quite a few citizens that were watching, and I was asking about that. You know, what are you going to miss? What are you going to look forward to at the CitizenCon? And I will say there was quite a bit of support for CIG making this entirely digital. There were, of course, conversations about, you know, the perks for whales who were able to travel to these things all the time, et cetera. But a lot of folks were just, no, if this is what it takes for them to focus on the game, continue working hard, and not spend, you know, literally thousands of hours prepping for a 3 or 4 day event, a lot of the community has been in favor of that because they do have a passion for the game versus the convention. So I think CIG is probably going to get more support for this than they have in past years. People are looking forward to, especially Squadron 42 coming out at the end of next year.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm in the same boat. I will miss certain aspects of the in-person Citizen Con. They talk about this being a 2-hour presentation this year, kind of targeting about that. But comparing that to previous events where you had 8 to 10 hours, I think it's going to be high impact, high intensity for those 2 hours. And of course, we'll probably hear a lot from Chris as part of that. And, looking forward to it.
Same. It's going to be a fun 2 hours. I'm betting it's going to be information packed. I don't think there's going to be a lot of at least I hope. I hope there's not a lot of theatrics. I hope they're moving from topic to topic, sharing things that are critical for us to know, sharing things that we've been asking about for years. I'm really hoping it's a productive couple of hours. But man, am I wrong, or is the weather getting better?
It looks like it's getting better, right?
This really looks so
beautiful
crystal clear
skies.
Yeah, and the lighting here as we're getting towards kind of dusk, the star getting a little bit more horizontal on the landscape, and it's getting that orange hue to it. I think that's what's helping a lot right now, is we're getting that slight orange through the atmospheric effects.
Sunset is approaching. I'm sorry, Starset. Starset is approaching.
Starset. Yeah.
God, that was a 10-minute conversation with me and Lenz trying to figure out Starset, Sunset. What do we call it? Stanton set? What do like I said, if you've got nerd friends, bring them into the game because they're fit right in.
Yep.
Yep, it's T set, not Shy set, just to be clear. T is,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Our sponsor. Tea and sandwiches are today's sponsor for this race. Lens is not here, so there's no chai.
Lens?
Now you're making me hungry. I
know, right? Hey, it is. Did you get dinner before we started this race?
Yes, I did. Actually,
oh, smart you.
Yep.
No, I did too.
Filled up the pre-show routine, as it were, getting beverages and food, making sure you're going to be set for a 2-hour-long endurance race, which I'm sure a lot of these racers have gone through as well. Right? I'd really be interested to hear what some of their pre-race routines are, both to take care of themselves in real life, kind of in that meat space, and then also what they do for their characters to run that. And we see we got 11 laps, 10 laps, and 9 laps. So maintaining a bit of that separation, and Jellyhead Maid really continuing to dominate at the top at 11 laps completed.
Yeah. Really curious what the gap is going to be between Jelly and Liquid here. Liquid's still not completing 11 laps yet, so that gap may be increasing, but that's not to say that Liquid has been running slowly. Liquid's last lap was 6:24. Their fastest was 6:22. Really, this has been such an amazing race because we're seeing people who are winning based on skill and speed. It's not a collection of crashes, and this is great. So I put the question into live chat. Who's glad to see a digital sitcom this year? We've got 2 hours for what's coming in 2026. Looking forward to it. I think there is support for this, and I hope I hope CIG appreciates it as they have these two versions of a game to work on.
Look at this flip maneuver. All right, we're seeing a little bit of G-force here. In that corner. Oh, right at the edge.
That was great.
That was fantastic.
Pretty tight.
Liquid Prime on 11th lap now, matching up with Jellyhead Maid.
Yeah, that's
Nafty, Tint,
quite a gap.
Quelsar, all on lap 10 now. We see Quelsar's 38 seconds behind Tint, so that gap separating a little bit. Liquid Prime, 1.5 minutes behind Jellyhead. Tint, 2 minutes 16 behind that, and then Data Machine and Neojet at just about a minute apart at the back there.
That may just be me, but 10th looked like they took that the little elevation change really slowly. Might have needed a little extra caution there. Not too bad on G-forces there. Not too bad at all. Waiting for Nafty to finish lap 11 here. Really curious what this distance is going to be. We are plus 3 minutes at least. So those front two guys are certainly a minute and a half apart, but the gap between 2 and 3 is significant.
See, has Nafty
Yes,
coming up on
indeed.
Sanguis Swoop just past the 50% mark of the track? Still got a ways to go.
Right through the steam vent. Love the realism of Star Citizen.
Yeah, the environmental settings here within the cities, they've done a fantastic job, and it's created these opportunities in game. Where else do you have fully? We call it fully explorable. A lot of the buildings don't have interiors, but you're generally able to fly just about anywhere inside these city areas.
Yeah, the timer for impounding is it'll give you time to peruse a little bit. So yes.
Yeah, and just a comment there: a toasted peanut butter and honey. I will say, if you get you start off with a light toast, that peanut butter just lays down velvety smooth, and it's an elevated experience.
So I think I now need to do this with every one of my fellow commentators. So now we have an opportunity here between me and you, Red. So peanut butter, crunchy or creamy?
I my wife
There is a
prefers
wrong
the
answer. Just letting you know.
yeah, my wife prefers the creamy. I do say I'm a big fan of like almonds and pistachios and all kinds of kind of nuts like that. So I do like a little bit of a chunky on the peanut butter, but sadly I don't do enough peanut butter to justify my own purchase of it would be a selfish purchase of a crunchy peanut butter. But when I'm batching it for a week, you better believe that that crunchy peanut butter is first thing in the shopping cart.
Well, sir, congratulations. You have given the wrong answer, which means Lens Nation has chai and you have crunchy peanut butter. You're wrong, and I shall fight you forever.
It's I think the velvety peanut butter is great, but having a little bit of chunk in there every now and then, it's not bad.
Get it from your toast, sir. No, this is all about cream. You need the thing that, like you said, what did you glorify when you talked about the toasted bread?
I
It was the
know.
fact that it went on so smooth and everything was great.
Yeah, well,
That is proper peanut butter.
that is proper peanut butter. I will give you that. And toasted, absolutely, you're gonna go creamy, right? You're gonna go smooth. But if you're doing just a regular peanut butter jam sandwich, I like the crunch there.
Okay. Well, look, we have Jelly Head Made, which is soft. Liquid Prime, soft. These are there's no crunchy names in here. There's no
Uh,
there's no there's no fandom for what you're asking for. Everybody here
listen,
prefers the
listen. You
smooth.
can't throw out crunchy names without talking about quail sour. That's a name that just sounds crunchy, right?
But it's an astro. It's
Data
an astro.
machine
It's
sounds
phenomenal.
crunchy.
Yeah,
Well,
data machine, definitely a number cruncher for sure, right?
and back of the pack. So no, all people up front are all smooth and
Oh
look,
wow,
their curves are their
You're doing
lines are
great,
smooth, their
Data.
curves are smooth. All I'm saying.
you guys heard it first here.
Yeah.
Papa Juggernaut does have favorites.
And that's
I
completely
already-
okay in racing.
That's right. I already said that Kelsar is my fan favorite, but as a commentator, all of them are amazing. Peanut butter and ham. Oh,
Ooh,
Possible
Oh.
10 crash?
who hurt you?
yeah, peanut butter and honey. I think Star Citizen Faye was trying to figure out
Oh!
PB and H.
Wait a
right? It's
minute. Wait a
peanut butter
minute.
and
Wait a minute.
honey.
Wait a minute. Was that is an abbreviated
got
stop
10
for
crash.
hint?
Oh,
Oh no.
He was chasing Liquid
Well.
Prime very well, but couldn't quite close the gap on him.
Hit one of those crunchy walls. Oh no.
Yep. All right. And Quelsar is going to be there to capitalize. Tint is going to have to
Absolutely.
come back in. with some speed. And Tint, that's his second collision and
Yep.
technically his third fresh ship that he'll be working on, since he did have his early collision, and then he merged with Neojet at the starting line and
Mhm.
lost his speed boost.
Really unfortunate. Did not want to see that. These guys were racing so well. Just absolute impressiveness from every single one of them. Hate to see things like that actually occur. I'm feeling for you, Tint. My heart goes out to you.
Hang in there, Tint.
I can't tell one building from another. Was Tint past 50% on that lap?
I believe he was past 50%, yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Let's check
Okay.
that with Prime. Yeah, he
Too
was.
bad.
He'll be able to rejoin at Astromedic.
Do we have snow? Is this snow?
It's looking a little foggy right now.
We have snow, yeah. Weather's building up. Fog is in. There's snow near the ground that's picking up from the wind.
Oh
We
my
might
gosh.
see a little bit more weather. Here we go. Yeah, it's kicking up down there.
Thank you, Noise Maze.
Yeah.
Our race
And we
director,
are
everybody just chimed into all of us and just said weather may be rolling in due to dusk, and literally was like 5 seconds behind me calling it out. So love to see this team.
Yep. Snow doing well. And we're 40 minutes left. And as we mentioned, at about the 15-minute mark, 15 minutes remaining is when we're going to have a star set here on the racetrack. So the illumination is going to be a big factor here. And really hope these guys are able to manage. The one thing that I think everyone can agree on is that headlights on spaceships are ridiculous.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Something's going on with Liquid
Kelsar.
Prime. And Kelser.
Oh, no. Yes. Did you say Liquid crashed as well? Because I don't see Liquid moving anymore.
Liquid isn't moving? Yeah, there's something going on there.
Oh,
See, that weather comes in and it throws everybody off of their groove.
it's a whiteout. I'm telling you, just everything is going to get whiter. Everything is also going to get simultaneously darker as the star begins to set. Look at this condition that we're seeing from NAFTA right now. Look how white, hazy, and just blurred everything is.
Oh yeah, that is obviously like definitely a difficult one. Sounds like Liquid had a game crash. Maybe a game on PC. They're working on getting that recovered.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he's not responding in Discord, it's could be a PC crash or some sort of a disconnect of peripherals. Who knows?
Yeah, local infrastructure issue. All right, Liquid Prime yet had a full computer crash there. Unfortunately, we'll get them back in. Hopefully, quickly.
There we go. Liquid back in the party. Got Space Citizen Faye and Red Monster SC going full expanse over there in chat.
Hey, Baradna. Yeah, it's a great TV series. We've listened through the audiobooks for most of those, and really great stories there. Was disappointed it ended where it did for the television series, but it sounds like they're going to be going to have some options in the future.
I've heard that. I've heard some rumors and rumblings.
Yeah. I think one of the best sci-fi series recently out there is The Expanse it's originally sci-fi, but now on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
1,000
I picked
curses
it
on
up,
Jeff Bezos.
I picked it up with the Amazon Prime acquisition, and I actually don't mind admitting it took me 2 times to get into it. I watched the first like 1.5 episodes, and between the accents and all the different plot lines, I'm not understanding
Yeah.
what the hell's going on in the show, and I was kind of turned off by it. But then everybody in the citizen community, everybody was just talking about how great the show was, and I was like, okay, then clearly that was me. Let me try it again. And I got back into it the second time and absolutely loved it.
I will say it is one of those shows that definitely benefits from like a 3 to 4 episode commitment as you get started. And one thing that helped my wife and also one of my best friends from growing up recommended it to both of them, but they had similar struggles. Like the first episode, they found it pretty difficult, but Going on with subtitles really helps overcome that accent gap, right? Because the Belter Creole is really unique, and it's
Yeah.
something that if you're not familiar with the Star or the Expanse universe, you may not recognize it properly because it is a mix of many contemporary languages and
Wait,
dialects.
I just
But
want to jump in here. Nefty has just completed another lap, which puts them. Is it just behind Liquid? I think it is. So
Yeah.
they're on the same lap as Liquid, and hopefully Liquid can get back in time. But Nefty just slowly chipping away, lap by lap.
yeah.
So keep
So
it up.
And
Nefty
back
did
in
overtake
Star
Neo.
Citizen.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I wasn't sure if Nafty overtook Neo or not, but looks like definitely. Uh-oh.
Oh, another crash from
Kelsar.
Quellstar. Visibility
Kelsar,
issues.
buddy, just a quick reminder to you, this is not a ground race.
I think it's time for the commentators to take a drink. I joke. Quellsar is also a fellow content creator I respect and enjoy, so some slight hazing there. As are many of these others. Tint with Frontier Consolidated, NeoJet, Data Machine. Everybody here is representing a great crew, supporting them. That's building strong communities within Star Citizen.
Dirk, who's on the race officiating occasionally, also commentating officially, part of the SCR podcast. A lot of content creators here to properly entertain everybody.
Mm-hmm. Now, tattoos in Star Citizen. What do you guys think about the current options?
I'm glad to see them. I'm not a fan of most of them. And I'm saying that, and I'm not saying that as a criticism of CIG. They're just not as expressive as I thought they would be. I think they're a little too cookie cutter. I'd like to see some different ones, not just like my personal preference, but I think the style needs to change.
Yeah. And we see Jellyhead made. No, with a crash. Ship destroyed there. That is unfortunate.
Of all the times for us not to be watching Jelly.
Well, you know what?
No, actually,
you should have taken that drink back.
I'll switch to him very, very soon, but I'll show you now what the Sanguis Luna pit crew team looks like. Here we are on the Polaris. This is Jelly running back. Hopefully not getting too lost. Running to the Spear Racing ships. He's going to take whatever one's available, whichever one he can get a seat on. There's so many choices. There's too many choices. Wow. Get in there, Jelly.
Go.
There you go. That one will do. Just this one. Whatever one will do. And he's going to get back to the race as quick as possible. Oh, he's in the corner there. Hopefully he doesn't clip the razor on the way out. There might be some complicating maneuvering here.
It's a pro right there.
There you go. Move away from
that.
There you go. Oh, there's two Polaris out there. Wow, that's cool.
Hello, Polari.
And
there's some insight on the factory there.
And the official racing, the racers' weather report is that it's windy.
Yeah.
Windy.
Yeah, the color commentary happening back here within that group has got to be interesting. So Jellyhead made, Liquid Prime was one lap behind. So Jellyhead made can really, with a good turnaround, we saw that pit crew. They'll be coming back in to rejoin at their earliest convenience, and we already see them coming down into New Babbage as they're trying to rejoin. So very, very speedy recovery from the initial crash.
I do feel bad seeing these crashes coming up at the end here because we only have just over 30 minutes left in this race. We've got laps that are separating these folks, and to see these crashes now, it's going to be so hard for them to recover, but it does present an opportunity for those that were behind them. So it's an interesting dynamic here as we get into the last quarter of this race.
Well, especially as we saw Liquid Prime had a PC crash, didn't he? And was able to get rejoined. So that second place, he lost some time. He might have been able to recover a little bit. depending on who's able to recover quicker. But yeah, of course, a PC crash, you've got to reload there. That is Quillstar looking suspiciously stationary.
Yeah. I think we've got crash
We
number
have
3 on
lost
this lap.
Kelsar. No, Kelsar.
Ship is still
Neojet.
intact, interestingly enough. Oh, never mind.
Wow.
It's gone.
And take a drink. Oh, and that is Nafty.
Nifty
Was
as
that
well.
so that wasn't a joint collision. They just happened to crash at different parts of the track at a
Yep,
similar time.
Different parts.
Same time, different place.
That's unfortunate for Nafty, but also Neojet, who's been doing really well. We've been following him. He was making up time, actually pretty aggressively. And
Echo, if you have a... Whoa. Oh, geez. I really thought Neo went into the ground on that one. Echo, if you have it handy, can we take a look at our spaghetti? Let's get a new update on that whenever you've got a minute to bring it up.
Let's have a look
Hurricane
at the
on
position
track.
change shots. Fair enough. Here we go. Here's our position change shot.
Wow, lots of changes in these last lap here. Lots of ups and downs, folks. Lots of ups and downs, but first, second, and third have been holding it together so far. We're going to see if these crashes make a difference in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, well, and all three have really maintained very consistently, and all three have had issues within the last 1 or 2 laps. So
yes,
balancing itself out. Then Data Machine, Neojet looking okay. Tint also looking good there, but Quillsar suffering a couple of collisions that have just been really costly right now, putting him back into the bottom. And Data Machine really coming up top, recovering into 5th place, where he had been solidly at the back, but pulling forward in just this last lap.
So, ladies and gentlemen, watching, whether you're watching, well, only live, because if you're watching the VOD, this won't matter to you. But if you are watching live, we have 30 minutes left in this race, and that also means that we are exactly 7 hours from the EU and Asia qualifiers for Grand Prix number 2. So make sure you come right back here in 7 hours. You're going to be able to watch the next round of qualifiers for a completely new grid of people, including our previous GP. Oh my gosh, what did I do with my list? There they are. Including racers like Fresh 001, File, Herbie, Rentier. You're going to get to see some of your favorites here. So make sure you come back to Anzia Racing on Twitch in 7 hours for that new race.
Yep, and that's going to be commentated by Canadian Maverick. Right.
Wow.
Off the Red Legion, by the way. Can we shout out Red Legion? Red Monster, tell us about Red Legion.
Yeah, so the Red Legion is an industrial-focused organization headed by myself. We do mining, salvage, and other large-scale industrial operations. So as things come in like refining, now with the salvage updates, definitely looking through there. We push the boundaries on what's possible with large-scale groups. So we host a Sunday morning mining session, which will be happening 3 hours after, 3 or 4 hours after the qualifier tomorrow, and we'll be managing that. So
amazing, and best mining guides in the game, always up to date information. Look up Red Monster SC's YouTube channel and join the org if mining or industrial gameplay interests you. And with all the reclaimer changes, do you have any thoughts on that? Have you gotten to try the PTU yet?
Yeah, so I got in last night on the PTU, and I'm not sure if all of the changes were actually implemented on the Wave 1 release, since I didn't really see much of a difference in the different types of materials. It all just showed construction material, salvage, and then one aspect with the reclaimer. Oh,
quick
we'll
interruption
start with
here.
another crash.
Yep, sad to see.
Sad to see that. With the reclaimer, unfortunately, none of the refinery stations in Stanton have a hangar large enough, and the reclaimer doesn't have a working docking collar. So if you're going to be doing salvage, probably want to go into Pyro, but the yields in Pyro are also bugged. So There's a lot of kind of the workflow required for reclaimer salvage that's just seemingly incomplete right now. But hopefully, with a couple of patches and some balancing updates, some of the more egregious and easier to fix stuff could be addressed.
Do you think any of that is well? I'm going to shut up now because NeoJet has just crashed. Everybody, NeoJet on the ground.
Oof, oof.
Tough things. Wow, that was a close pass. That was really cool to see, though. But anyways, NeoJet is now down. Sorry, my original question. I'm back now. My question that I was going to ask was you were talking about the Wave 1 access, and now the PTU is for open to all waves. Has anybody had a chance to check that out? Whether you're live in chat right now or one of our commentators, has anybody able to check that out in the all wave PTU?
I have not yet.
Me neither, because I don't do PTU.
So I've checked it out, and there are a few other shadow kind of things that I want to mention, which don't appear in the patch notes, and I usually pass this on to the Firestar, who does a great shadow patch notes video series, by the way. You no longer have to deliver your ships, at least in the PTU build right now. Everything is always retrieve when you first log in. You just retrieve it to whatever kiosk you want. That step is gone. So very convenient. You just bring up the ship you want straight away. The intermediate step is gone.
Wait, hold on. I'm not sure I'm understanding you. Are you so no matter where I am, I can retrieve a ship?
You can retrieve a ship on initial spawn. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you first spawn into the game, you got your home base set. What would happen is all the ships would be in a deliverable state, and you just have to say deliver, and then you could claim it, or then you could call it. But now everything is already delivered to your home location. And if you're around for 3.18, this was the core problem that was locking people out of their accounts, was because they were trying to load all of their ships into your local station, and it was overloading the servers. So whatever bottleneck was running in that, they've been able to address it. And now all of your ships will be present at your starting home station off the bat, which is actually a really nice feature if you're somebody who goes through and steals parts off of multiple other donor ships within your hangar to use on the couple that are your daily drivers.
There's a con to it. So I have two comments. The first is I'm not entirely a fan of that. I will say, first of all, I think CIG should get some credit then, because that means they were able to solve a very large pledged inventory issue. It was a huge database issue, as I understood it, and that's what was causing that 318. So I'm glad to see them being able to overcome that. Hopefully this test works out well. However, I will say, as somebody who has a fleet, one of the things that I enjoyed about the delivery system was that I didn't have to deliver all of my ships to home. And if I ended up somewhere else and needed, let's say, a 600i, I could just deliver it there without a 30-minute wait. So there is a downside to having this delivery system get purged, which is now essentially you've got to pull everything from the home base. Otherwise, you've got some wait times.
Yeah, you're going to have some wait times, but that's a fair point. But it is also one of the decisions you got to make when choosing your home base. And something that prior to 318, we all had to suffer through, right?
Yep.
So it brings us back to a baseline where we might have been okay since 318 when they made that change. Was it like 318.1? So we finally had that. Oh, we get to watch Nafty do the F-lock turn.
Whoa!
Yeah, coming out really, really wide on the backside here. And we see a little bit cleaner lines from others, but Nafty's doing well. He's just one lap behind third place right now. So, what's working there?
Unfortunately, with Jelly and Liquid both completing lap 14, that means for the first time in this race, we now have a 4-lap gap between the front and back of the pack.
And yeah, Quelsar is probably out there kicking himself with some of these collisions recently.
Yep.
But we did see the Polaris with the pit crew. That's pretty well organized, and the speed at which Jellyhead made was able to get back in. They're definitely well practiced at this.
Yeah, the Sanguis Luna crew having those Polari, obviously, we saw that there is a bevy of razors for them to pick from. So they're ready to go, and Kelsar was put right back on the track as soon as any team could possibly get you back on the track. I will say that we should probably take a minute here. We're talking about CIG and all the changes that have gone on, and some of the great improvements we've seen lately. We do want to also thank CIG for their support of not only the racing community, but also Anzia Racing and also the 2955 Crux Cup. They are the reason we have some of our prizes today and through this series. So thank you very much to Cloud Imperium Games for being part of Star Citizen Racing.
Yeah, the amount of
Thank
support
you,
they show
CIG.
to the community, very much appreciated. So, good round of applause for the developers.
I don't have my soundboard
Let's go,
active.
CIG.
I would do some applause, but I don't have it. Yeah, that's one of the greatest things about CIG is that they are so intrinsically tied to the community, even excessively so, in my opinion, where they're having to deal with ridiculous Discord comments and fight battles in Discords, but they're there. They're present. They're in the forums. They're on Reddit. They're in Discords. They really care about what we do, what we think, and obviously, they can't make everybody happy, and some people just have massive sense of entitlement, but. They're in there and they're listening to us and they're trying to give us the game that we would love them to create alongside Chris Roberts' vision for all of this. So I certainly anybody could say I do not white knight CIG, but I certainly give them credit where credit is due. They pay a lot of attention to their community.
We see Quellstar completing lap number 10 onto lap 11, so it's back down to just a 3-lap gap, but
Good.
We'll see how that holds out. It'll be 3, sometimes maybe 4.
Yep. Looking at fastest lap times here, Tint still holding 6:18. Jellyhead still with the race record so far. It's 6 minutes 18 seconds, 0.458 hundredths of a second here, thousandths of a second, I guess. So again, still seeing some really impressive performance from everybody. Tint's last lap was 6:24. So crashes have been hard. There are some big numbers on the time board here, but otherwise, these guys are still fighting it out with the last, what do we got, 20 minutes? Where's my clock? 20 minutes here.
1939, and yeah, we're right at Starset now, getting the nice evening hues as it casts across the buildings. And man, just take a look at this. How close the nose is there through that whole
Holy
thing, and
crap.
not even a shred of
Not
G-force.
a bit.
Maybe a little bit, but
Oh, wow.
full visibility through the whole thing. Might have gotten a little hazy, but none of the risk of blacking out and the visibility reduction. That was masterfully done. A really smooth line.
That was really, really impressive. I actually love doing those things when I'm airborne and I'm trying to do, when I'm trying to pretend to be a racer or some sort of a stunt pilot. Going through gaps like that, Microtech is probably one of my favorite places to do it. The Aspire Grand Tower is one of my favorite places to do it. But when you go through that and you survive, it's just so much fun. It's one of the things that I love doing in this game when it comes to speed. Unbelievable. Look at Data Machine back in the pack here, sitting at number 4 again. Had been in the back for so long and now just making his way up.
Yeah, I'm getting that moment here.
Beautiful orange coloring as we get the star set. Kind of reminds me, this is PETA's favorite color in Hunger Games. Not like Effie's hair, more like a sunset. Nice tight turn from Nafty there. Data Machine catching up, trying to a little slow there. Data Machine, not sure if that was going to make it close that gap, but not too bad there. Good racing right there.
Yes, indeed. We saw Data Machine, Nafty doing their thing. Clipped that moment with that beautiful sunset on the Aspire Grand Tower. Yeah, the scenery here cannot be beat.
One of my absolute favorite parts of this game is the visual capabilities. And for those of you who are new to Star Citizen, if you're new to the environments here, or maybe you've heard about Squadron 42 and you're looking forward to that next year, um, this is not an optimized game. This
Yeah.
is not built for visual optimization yet. This is not optimized for most graphic cards. They're still testing situations. There were just recently some updates to their Vulkan implementation, um, to HDR settings. So what you're seeing is still a game that is not done. It is not optimized. It has so far to go. And this is what we have already. It's just mind blowing to me. This is one of the reasons I became a virtual photographer inside Star Citizen. Was I'd seen this in other games, and I was like, no, that's this. This is what I want to do.
Yeah. And that's similar experience for me. Mine was sold on the spaceships and the level of detail they had. I remember it was pretty early on after I had become a citizen already. Was playing around with the the Avenger Titan at the time, but had a ship shape,
Penguin.
kind of a had a ship shape going with the Constellation series, and they were showing the interior there as one of their first multi-crew ships that I just loved.
Wow, Data Machine has really closed the gap here behind Nafty.
And they are on the same lap. This is a head-to-head battle here for that.
Yeah.
And of course, we saw Nafty had a collision earlier, so that has brought Data Machine back up, and Data Machine really pushing from 7th place now within one lap.
Here we go. Is this going to be a pass? Oh, I think the boost expired.
No, and that is one thing they are boosting.
And there goes Nafty.
Managing that. Yeah,
all right,
clean
guys,
lines here.
For you two guys, you need to be safe. Make sure you're chatting in comms. Stay in touch with each other. Don't do crazy. Oh, Nafty avoids.
Data Machine tried to boost up, and you saw Nafty was not having any of that. Picked the straight away to use that, and of course Nafty coming in. Data Machine pulling a little bit tighter corner there.
Yeah, lost some speed, but gained some distance, I think.
Yeah, they are head to head with the overtake. Data
There's
Machine
the overtake.
Yeah. And
I think that is
crashed. There.
We lost Data somewhere along the way.
That would be so unfortunate.
Right as he pulled ahead, we'll see what the official report comes in as.
Yeah.
Oh, Data Machine.
Oh no.
Impounded. He had an impound sign. And kill Sati!
How?
A double impound. There's some floating
Wait a
signs
minute, this has got to be a glitch.
It's definitely a bug.
But it may be because the number of racers. Yeah, Quelsar crashed, not impounded. That was not big. So really multiple people there. That would be terrible. There is a grace period on these impound warning areas, but again, stranger things have happened. There are some really inexplicable bugs you might run into in Star Citizen. From a layman's perspective, you might not understand why things might run that way, but of course, Star Citizen, in all of its complexity, brings new challenges every day.
And I don't mind. I'm just gonna say it again for the millionth time in my Star Citizen career. I don't mind. There's a bug. Okay, I know that every time I buy a ship. I know that every time I buy a set of armor. I know that every time I sign in. Every single time I do something with this game, I sign an agreement that says, yep, I know it's broken, and I'm okay with it.
Yep.
It is still the coolest game I play.
Yeah. And that's what drives a lot of people to it still. And, that I think there's a certain level of tolerance for these that we develop and we understand. But, with the hope that, and really, we saw the proof here with 432. Now, our ships all coming into the home base. That was a big game-breaking bug back at 318, which is, I would argue, the worst delivery of a patch to date. And if you were around 4.3.18, You might agree with me there, but
Yes.
one of those most nefarious bugs they ran into, the root cause apparently being addressed, and now getting us back to the vision of a home base that matters. So,
Interestingly, you talk about a home base, and I noticed, I believe it was 4.1. Oh, it might be 4.2. If it was 4.2, I believe that was where we first started spawning inside our personalized hangars.
yeah,
That wasn't the
definitely.
thing before either. You had to start in a hab. You were in essentially a habitation room, and then you had to go leave that area and then go down to the docks and go get your ship. Blah blah blah. Lately, I just spawn right in my hangar. I get to
Yeah.
start playing the game.
And it's an interesting choice, and one that I think a lot of folks were used to waking up at the habitation areas, and with personalized habs and things that are planned for that in the future. There are some folks who might want it, or appreciate, or at least miss it if that's the way that it's going to go in the future. But
Absolutely, and I can very much understand. I guess how they decide, what is personalized and where you start. If we are going to be personalizing habs and hangers, I think that could be started to be perceived as a microtransaction grab, because people are going to be buying things to decorate both. And I'm,
yeah,
I'm wondering how CIG is going to play that off. I think they've got some decisions to make about the player experience at launch, and I think they're going to make their way through it. But right now, things are changing a little bit, and we're going to see where it shakes out.
yeah. And as somebody who's been around since the 2015 days, I've got 10 years of hanger flares. So yeah, a lot of stuff to be able to decorate with. But yeah, there are certain people who will want to go out and stock up, and hopefully most of it will be available in game. I know tables and chairs and
Yeah.
other decor has been nice. And speaking of, there are some other hanger flares that are exclusive to this year's in-person CitizenCon Direct Watch parties. There is a Vandal holographic mask display that will be they'll have scratch off cards there. If you guys have been to an official CIG supported Bar Citizen meetup this year, I probably already got one of those cards with the codes for that. I got one down in Quantum Vegas earlier this year, and that's a very exciting, kind of interesting, cool feature, showcasing the fact that you're not afraid to be seen in person.
One of my favorite parts of the in-person events. What has just happened with the lighting? This does not look like reshade.
Reshade has come on? Oh,
Is this reshade?
It's just a very specific tuning of it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I have reshade and I've never done this. This is cool.
All right. And of course, virtual attendance at Bar Citizens is also appreciated. Those who are able to get there and at least show some type of presence. So.
Yeah, I've won, much to my both joy and disappointment. I have won 3 Drake ships at in-person CIG Bar Citizens, which everybody there loves to make fun of me for some reason. Hey, Jug got the Drake ship, and it's like, shut up.
Now, which Drake ships did you get? I've got to ask.
I've picked up 2 cutters and what was the other one? I want to say it was a vulture, but that doesn't sound right. I think it was.
Ooh, is it the Golem, the mining ship?
No. I still don't have a golem. Ew, Drake. God, what was it? I know it was 2. It might have been 3 cutters, but I know for a fact it was at least 2.
Yeah, they had the Cutter Rambler and the Cutter Scout, I think.
I know one of them was a Rambler, and that's actually the one I'm keeping. The rest I am very gleefully melting into something better. Because ew, Drake. In fact, I think one of them might have become my MSR. I could be wrong about that, but almost positive I turned one of them into an MSR.
Yeah, they're definitely a great opportunity for a ship. Most are game packages with lifetime insurance that's awarded. Yep. So, yeah, a good starting point if you wanted to upgrade to something. My luck, I've had a few winners that I was drawn for and re-rolled because as an organizer sometimes, and also as a whale, right? You get enough ships in your hangar. But yeah, Quantum Vegas, I actually I won the M2 game package, and It's a pretty
Wow.
good one. So,
Yeah, that's a pretty good game package right there. I didn't even know that was a game pack. Really? The M2 game package?
an M2 game package LTI, just for a
Jeez.
giveaway raffle they did. So
We just
the
lost
bar citizen
Darter in
support
the
is
ghosted
strong.
section at the end. His razor was dead on the ground. Hope he's alright.
We just
Okay.
lost who? Data?
Yeah.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Such a rough break. He had made such great climbs in the rankings there.
And lap number 14, he's sticking through. 6.5 minutes left. We're left on lap 17. And what did I say? Lap
You
18,
did.
maybe 19 laps.
At 18. Saw 10 at the halfway mark, and I really thought we might hit 20, but we're going to see where the white flag ends up dropping. We are now, as of currently on track, we are now 5 laps between front and back of pack.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, reshade. Let's talk a little bit about that. So our normal camera, we've got a pretty dark environment, but reshade goes through and it's a visual overlay enhancer. Can you tell anybody more familiar with it? It's not
I
something I
got you.
use.
So, essentially, it is a third-party program that interacts with the pixels on your screen, which enhances their brightness. It is just a post-processing effect, so any effect that you would apply in maybe Windows Photos or Photoshop that increases brightness, this lets you do that and tune the pixels that are shown on your monitor, and this helps you enhance darker pixels to become brighter. And you can also increase their saturation so they stand out a lot more. That's why the colors are so kind of over bright, like over color when
Yeah.
this is turned on, and that helps you see it. Now it gives you a sort of low light effect, but it's all post processing, and at the moment it's all okay.
It is one of
Yeah,
the most
officially-
dynamic, impressive systems that you can have attached to a game. It is one of the things that allows me to pretend I'm a very good virtual photographer. I get to mess around with lighting. I get to mess around with some After Effects. I get to do things pre-Photoshop, but post-production of game. Really, really love Reshade. And I got to tell you, for anybody who loves the visual sides of these games, and this is true for anything, it's Star Citizen, it's Cyberpunks, it's Red Deads, whatever you've got that are these big AAA or quadruple A title. I don't know what the hell they're going to be anymore, but when you've got these things, Reshade is a fantastic way to enjoy the game in a slightly modified way.
Jellyhead made currently our leader, Liquid Prime, 2.5 minutes behind. Tint 2 laps behind. Looking to close that down to just one. Nafty was 27 seconds behind. Data Machine, the next lap. Data Machine just having a collision recently. Probably rejoining us shortly. NeoJet at 6.5 minutes behind that. Just about a full lap, more or less. And Quelsar getting some additional laps there. Was at 10 when we had a multiple collision issue, and now up to 12 laps. So a 5-lap difference. Jellyhead and Liquid are both on lap 17. Tint and Nafty both on lap 15. Data Machine and NeoJet on lap 14.
Don't forget, everybody, as we're sitting here watching a live camera from one of our pilots, these people have been racing now for just under 2 hours. They've been prepping for many, many hours before that. Fatigue is a thing. We have not seen in the last probably dozen laps or so, we have not seen anybody set a lap time record. So they're getting tired, they're getting hungry, they're getting thirsty, their vision's starting to blur. Fingers are starting to cramp up. I mean, they've been doing a lot with their joysticks or their mices and keyboards. This is going to be a very, I think, dramatic end. We might get a couple of position changes before the end here, but we are approaching the final lap.
Yeah, and the fatigue at the end of a 2-hour race like this definitely is going to play into it. Most of the characters here, hydration levels are getting on the low side, but probably not a risk based on what I'm seeing here. That is one of the concerns. I know we've had that with the 24-hour Crux Cup, the endurance race there. A lot of folks needing to do pit stops and racer swaps. So
Echo, I'm hoping you can explain something to me, and this is entirely a personal question here. Thrusters offline. What is going on with the thrusters in this game? Because I'm getting this on every ship I fly.
Yep. So that is a visual bug. And actually, your thrusters are working normally. I think they're incorrectly reporting. It's a false positive, basically, with Resource Network. So your
Okay.
thrusters are indeed fine.
This
Interesting.
slalom section here, just a very smooth rhythm. As I believe we're watching Jellyhead made.
Oh,
No, Quelsar with another ship destruction.
this is not supposed to happen, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the most talented racers you can watch, and this race, much like GP1, just Kelsar is getting plagued by these crashes. It's holding up somebody with a lot of skill that we should be watching.
That is unfortunate there. We see the overall gaps here. 2.5 minutes between 1 and 2. Tint and Nafty look like they've each got their own individual laps. Ooh, Nafty looks suspiciously.
Whoa.
Yes, we have lost Nafty.
Oh,
Oof. Seeing some frame drops on my side. I'm not sure if that's a local Discord preview or if that's actually coming through on stream.
A Discord thing, I think. Yep.
yeah, for anybody watching live, you are seeing a little bit of butter. Trust me, the racers are still going fast.
Yeah, and we are into the final 30 seconds of the race before we call the white flag. And then when Jellyhead made gets the next lap, that we call the checkered flag to bring folks back in.
Here we go, the F. Block. Not terribly tight, but still pretty good. Well done, Jelly. And there's the white flag, ladies and gentlemen. We are in our final lap. Everybody will be collected at this point. We're going to see where this ends up. Given that, I think I'm going to change my previous statement. I think that we may not see much position changing here in a final lap. This might be our final grid.
With the white flag being called, if anybody does crash, are they going to be allowed to rejoin EchoBit?
Only on the checkered flag are they no longer allowed to rejoin. That'll be the race over for them. So white flag is okay. As long as you can get back to your rejoin point, you can continue your race.
Excellent. And we see Jellyhead Maid, who is the current lead. Of course, using that reshade to really brighten things up. And those color flashes, the mustache fin on the Mirai Razor really helping drive verticals there.
I think Reshade just struggled with that. Yeah, with Kelsar's crash, we now have a 6-lap gap.
Yeah. Now, 18 laps. We're going to get 19 for Jellyhead. So pretty decent prediction going in for the end of the race there.
I think you nailed it. Uh-oh.
Oh, Neojet. With a ship destroyed, he will be allowed to rejoin. Data Machine was 1 lap behind, so we may, between 5th and 6th, we'll see how they're able to place there.
Brief connection interruption, but doing okay.
I just switched to the Discord region just to see if that would make a difference, but it might be Australia. The streamer's running out of Australia, so the ocean cables might be under attack by the sharks again.
Yeah,
Australia has run out of bandwidth again.
The octopodes are down there messing with the cables.
Well, I mean, Red, I don't know if you saw earlier, but I think it was Noisemaze was accusing Red Legion of being in control of the weather.
Oh, you know what? Weather control powers are definitely high on my list of wants. I'm not sure what I would need to bribe someone with to get that, but I'm not above it. Not above it.
That surprises me. Whose camera are we watching? Okay. Oh, Nafty.
We're looking at Nafty now. Looks like my smoothest camera, so we'll sit on you, Nafty, for a bit.
It's not often you see people racing with global chat open.
Yeah. One of the most important preparations I make when running an event is F12.
Uh-oh.
And Quelsar with another crash.
Really unfortunate to see this happening. I think that's going to then lock in
Hurricane's
potentially
revenge.
a six lap gap here between them.
Yeah. Go ahead, lock that in. Quelsar will be allowed to rejoin, but
yeah,
at least for a couple more minutes.
So I think Jelly. So we're watching Jelly now. I think Jelly's got a little bit of a left turn here, and then we've got a finish line coming up, unless I'm completely misreading the track, and I might be because it just turned the opposite direction. Oh no, that's the 180. Oh, I have no idea. Again, all of these buildings look the same. I have no idea.
Yeah, it is a monumental task these racers have gone through to memorize this track and their lines, knowing what happens. It's a skill to be honed and developed. Oh, and we see that
Jelly crash! No!
Jelly crashed. All right, going back at the Polaris, and the static body of Jelly had made.
So Echo, Jelly has to go back to 50% at this point?
Let's have a look. Jelly has crashed. Yes, past the 50% point, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yep, they'll be able to rejoin on Astromedic.
So they'll rejoin at the halfway mark of the track, and they'll be able to finish essentially lap 19.
Yeah. Now, does that put Liquid Prime ahead if Jellyhead is slower?
We are trying to close out the race, which means our next racer in the lead, overall lead of the race, will close out
40
the race.
lead there.
So Jelly's got to get back to that rejoin point as quickly as possible, or his results will just sit as they stand.
I don't see how Jelly is going to make it back in time to overtake Liquid. Liquid's past the halfway point. There was only a 2.5 minute gap. I don't see how Liquid doesn't become first in this, right?
This is going to be a nail biter to salvage first place from a crucial crash, right? And we had Jellyhead had one other crash throughout today's event. Is that
correct? Yep.
Yeah. So a very clean run. 18 laps completed. Coming back in at the halfway point, we're going to want to watch as that rejoin happens, whether Liquid Prime, who is currently in the lead, if they're going to get they're going to make
again,
sure
I don't see how the math works in Jellyhead's favor here. I think that Liquid was close enough. I think that Liquid was past the halfway point, so even if Jelly were to fly in here at light speed, I still don't see how they're going to be passing Liquid. I think Liquid's going to be having the checkered flag here. But that is a great reminder for everybody in chat. We are coming to the end of this race. If you wanted to cheer on one of your racers, now is the time. They are coming to the end of the qualifiers in the U.S.-Australia portion of the Crux Cup 2955 Stellar Endurance Championship. So do it now, because some of the greatest racers you're going to see in Star Citizen are about to finish.
Yeah, and Durek says Jelly is behind him a ways, but had a really quick rejoin. And Liquid was past the rejoin point already.
Exactly.
So, yeah. There we are. That's probably going to stand. And just a real Real heart crusher there for Jellyhead as he's trying to recover, getting to second place,
There you
and the
go.
title
Jelly's
of
back
the
in.
Ghost of New Babbage slipping out of his fingers in the last moments.
Really tough. But that's racing for you, is you can command a lead for the entire race and lose it in a fraction of a second. And that's exactly what we're witnessing right here. But this does not take away, and I hope everybody in the community understands, this does not take away from the incredible talent and skill that we saw from Jellyhead Made for the last 2 hours, just crushing first place, holding that with absolute domination, and then a crash at the end.
Yeah. And we see Liquid Prime
Still,
slaloming there.
still a step up from Jellyhead. Had a lot of crashes in Grand Prix 1, and to have just one here, super impressive. You should be proud of yourself anyway, Jelly. Bring it home. Liquid and yourself kept incredible pace in this race. Here is Liquid coming up on the finish line right
There it
now for a
is.
checkered flag.
And there we have it. Checker flag called. Liquid Prime, first place finish. Congratulations, Liquid Prime, holding on right at the end to overtake, capitalizing on a really unfortunate crash for Jellyhead. He's got to be kicking himself about that one today. What a heartbreaker there. An upset in the final bit. And Neojet finished, Quelsar finished, getting those folks locked in. A couple other folks still out on the track running. So Jellyhead's going to get lined up for second place here with the finish of this. Well done for all of our racers today. The endurance, the skill that went into this race, completing 19 laps for first and second. Really, the 2-hour-long endurance race for the Crux Cup Stellar Endurance Championships. Tint locking in, I believe, third place there.
Third place. Way to go, Tint.
Congratulations. And does Tint still have the fastest lap record with 6 minutes 18 seconds?
No, Tint was actually the following lap from setting that time. Jellyhead came back and took 6 to 18 at 4:58. So literally by a half a second, Tint was able to fall into second place there. Jellyhead still has top lap speed. There we go. Jellyhead has now officially gone into second place here. We'll pick up the 90, whatever it was, point 97-ish. I forget. Picking up those points. And Liquid Prime is going to be picking up the full 195. There we go. So Liquid Prime is going to be grabbing 105 points for the series. Second place is Jellyhead Made second place with 95 points, and third goes to Tint for 86.
And while we're waiting for the final results to be tallied up, let's give a couple of staff shout outs. First off, thank you to our virtual photographers. We've seen them out throughout the track here. Andrew, MI66, and Finchzar doing those. We have Oleg Lime, and we had another Kayla Star who was joining in. Data Machine with a crash. Oh no. So Data Machine's going to be locked in at sixth place with that progress.
Yeah.
Race officers, Sergeant Griff and Astromedic. Race timers, Draconis NZ and Tiger Weiss. The race director, Noise Maze. Our live stream broadcast commentators, Echobit, Papa Juggernaut, and myself, Red Monster SC.
Quick reminder to everybody, you've got just over 6 hours before the EU and Asia qualifiers happen right here live on Anzia Racing's Twitch channel. All you've got to do is go to twitch.tv/Anzia Racing, and you will be able to watch the EU Australia qualifiers, and then we move on to the championships. So please stick around for those. Come back after you've had a chance to refresh and rewind and do whatever you got to do. Also want to thank, of course, the wonderful folks over at CIG for making some of this possible. We certainly appreciate your generosity with the prize pool today and building the greatest star space universe simulation game that any of us have ever seen.
We're just watching Nefty finish here, closing out the race. Hang in there, Nefty. Bring your final lap home. Every lap counts. And we'll definitely see you qualifying here. And love to see you at the main race as well. Thank you to all our racers for coming out. We appreciate each and every one of you.
For those
Surviving through
wondering,
crash and all the practice. The hours of dedication is not lost on us.
For those of you wondering about the qualifications, we did mention at the start of this race and a couple of times in the middle, we talked about the Godly 15. You should know that, again, 6 hours from now, we're going to be doing the EU and Asia qualifiers. But for this particular race, now that it's finished, the top 6 positions are guaranteed placement in that Godly 15. So we're going to have to see how the Asia and EU qualifiers fall out. So we're going to determine Kelsar's fate once that is done, depending on how they finish.
Yeah, and that's coming up in about 6 hours from now. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's it. Not too far away.
And look at the wonderful neon rimmed lights in New Babbage on the frigid surface of Microtech.
You know, it's some of these visuals and colors and like the Aspire Grand aesthetics. New Babbage was the first home I ever picked in Star Citizen. I just thought it was such a cool looking place. At the time, I wasn't aware of the terrible atmospheric punishment I was going to get trying to get out of atmosphere every day. But still, it's such a beautifully designed city with a very unique style to itself.
Everyone else here who experienced Crusaders Orison original launch with, I tried to fly a Reclaimer out of that 750 kilometer altitude.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible. There we go. Nafty has locked in fourth.
Finished. There we go. So Data Machine with the crash, I think, locks him in there. But we'll get the official.
Then we'll lock him in. Let's take a look at our race results for the USA and Australian qualifiers of Grand Prix number 2 at MB Ghost. Here are your results as they stand.
There you
Incredible
go, ladies and
effort
gentlemen.
from all of our racers today. 19 laps for Liquid and Jelly, 18 for Tint, 17 for Nafty, 16 for NeoJet. Welcome in, Neo. This is his first Grand Prix as Stella. Data as well, 15 laps for XGR, taken over from Shakno, and Kelsar. Good effort, persisting, getting 25% of the race distance completed with 13 laps. Everyone will progress today. Congrats to everyone. Here's our positional change chart just before we head away with the results. There we go, you can see the final lap changes at the end, Tint making a good recovery there. Passing his Frontier Consolidated teammate Nafty very cleanly, securing third place there. The Liquid and Jelly swap there at the end, but Sanguis holding strong up the front. Sire Racing, persisting through crashes, and NeoJet maintaining solid, consistent positions. Well done. And Data Machine also going up for XGR as well from the back of the pack. Nearly gaining some positions, but losing out to a crash there. But don't worry, Data. We'd love to see you again. And Kelsar also suffering a lot of crashes, but still putting in incredible effort. Well done. We're going to go back to us casters and we'll close things out here. That has been your Grand Prix number 1 for Australia and the United States.
Congratulations to all of our participants in today's race. It has been amazing to watch you do what you do so well. Thank you for 2 hours of entertainment. Thank you for 2 hours of demonstrating your skill for everybody in Star Citizen's racing community and those who are new to it especially. For anybody who would like to know more about the racing community, you can learn more at anziaracing.com. You can even pick yourself up a mentor, find yourself some great racing orgs. You can make some friends and do more than I do, which is just fly alone and die. So, Red Monster, how was your race? What is up for you? Where can people find you?
It was a great race. I think there was some really great competitive moments we saw in there. Some overtakes and then immediate crashes there, leveling the playing field, and some great views. We saw that F-lock loop right with the sunset. It was a moment I had to go out and clip just to make sure we kept it. That was beautiful. But really yes, you guys can find me on Twitch, on YouTube. I live stream both. I do Star Citizen Sunday morning mining sessions every Sunday at 8 a.m. Mountain Time. The Butt Crack of Dawn there. And then I also stream a couple times throughout the week, Friday nights, Monday nights, and then Tuesday and Wednesday mornings. So Mostly Star Citizen. I do get some variety games in between as we're in the content drought ahead of CitizenCon when people are going to be just really riding high on that hopium. So
Sounds good. Thank you very much for joining me today. Echo Bit, if people wanted to know more about you and or Anzia Racing, what could they do?
My socials are X and Blue Sky. You can follow me, EchoBit, there. You can also find me on Twitch under EchoBit, as well as YouTube EchoBit, my handle. Mostly unified there, with X just being EchoBits. I haven't streamed in a while. I've just been doing Anzia races, and we'll be doing those for the next couple of weeks over CitizenCon period. We've also got a Cargo Olympics coming up, which you can enjoy. That's a new one for us. That's going to be exciting. But I
Very
will return
exciting.
to streaming myself, and you can see me on my Twitch channel after that.
Really
BJ,
looking
where can we
forward to the
find
Cargo
you?
Olympics. So Cargo Olympics are going to be a great event. I love being a hauler, so I'm very much looking forward to that one. Reminder to everybody, you've got less than 6 hours now before the EU and Asia qualifiers for the same Grand Prix. So check that out. Just come right back here to Twitch, twitch.tv/Anzia Racing. On behalf of everybody at Anzia Racing, and especially and including all of our volunteers who made today possible and made the next race possible and the race after that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you being part of the community. You can support Anzia Racing by going to anziaracing.com/merch or dropping some subs or bits in the Twitch channel. From behalf of all of us, thank you very much. And don't forget to ask yourself and your friends, is it race day yet? We'll see you next time.
See you next time, everyone. Anzia Racing would like to thank the following: